Even if that's a short throw.
Alright. One more extender.
No.
How about you on this thing?
Wait a minute. You guys plug it back in?
Whoops.
So, does the camera check everything looks right on the camera?
Still.
Uzzer's laptop is kind of awkward. You see his
Yes.
was it like that one?
Oh, it's, yeah. The resolution is weak.
Yeah, can you maybe reboot his computer or something?
The resolution?
Yes,
That's
was
all
great.
about- Yeah, well, that's all about his camera.
That's what it works. Is he using his laptop or is he using like the
camera.
plug-in camera?
No, I think so.
All right, I'm gonna go pray real quick because I'm trying to
Yeah,
do Ramadan, man.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on. Yeah, I'm here.
Hold on. You can hear all of us, he said.
Go ahead, what are you saying, Azar?
I'm using my laptop
Oh,
and
No, I see.
I don't know.
Show the sound effect how to do the
Just
color.
because it's not a win.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second, Azar. I think one of the cameras mic is on. Is
It shouldn't matter whether.
no, I'm hearing everything through the head. I'm hearing like a lot. The door, everything, that shouldn't be.
Where's
The
that
mic.
microphone? Maybe it's from the microphones.
No, there's only one mic on.
What's that?
One of the cameras mic's on because I'm hearing too much.
Yes, I think one of the cameras might spot. Okay, so you have.
At the top, can we play like year in review for like 7 minutes, just so? Can we play like year in review?
I have an opening in 2 minutes.
But I mean, he got pray real quick. And
Oh,
we still, who's the first guest coming on? Is it gonna be Yaz because
Syed, right? Oh, man.
Saeed's at the masjid. He's at Adams collecting e-toys.
All right,
So you were saying something about the cameras? Did you calibrate
Syed
the
is
cameras?
not on right now. We can start with
So
native
you
D.
say white balance here. This is the color temperature here. See, you can see it's 43. And if you can get color temperature, all of they're on the same thing. So image quality, it's all under white balance. Okay, so I'm not sure how to do the Sony one's the hard one. They're on?
Except for this one.
Except for this one? Is that the one that's causing the issue? White balance. Yeah, this is what the problem with. You have to do color temperature 43. Okay. All right. Now that should be, but I'm not sure about this one. And then if one is a little brighter, then you can play around with. It's still on filter one. Is it on filter one? Did you change it? Function.
I didn't change.
White balance. Color temperature.
So when I want to
53 Kelvin. These, yeah, this is, yeah. Yeah, fine. Is that?
Okay, so when I want to like take a photo, where do I switch to? Do I switch to something or
Oh, with this?
can you take a photo with this?
I would just take the photo.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just take photo, just drop this into, I mean,
Like-
it's only like, it's only like 10 seconds.
Okay.
We can try clearer.
I'm sorry, I missed. My worst thing.
I don't know, came up though.
Yeah, well, he snagged me, talked to me for like 20 minutes. And then he said, you go talk to this person, I'm out. Left me in the middle of a conversation, so I'm like,
Okay. So how's it, is it working?
Yeah, I think they're all matched.
he ended up saying, oh, yeah, there's extra cables. And I emailed him yesterday. No, that's what that was the email that I sent him yesterday. Because he's like, dude, there's extra cables. I'm like, dude. I'm like, so we gotta move around and keep moving our gear and stuff? What do you want me to do?
Like Christina sent an email, I talked to Carl, and then, like, you can't just say, like, yeah, there's a room. I was like, well, that's nice, but can you now just assign me that room? So that I know, like, no, if anyone tells me, what are you doing here? That's what they'll hang on.
Yeah.
Not like,
No, the way his last email made it sound.
So,
like, there's free space, gotta
There's,
take
no,
stuff.
there's
do we still have like a dry erase board thing or something? Do we have that?
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah, where's
That's,
that?
that's what I took from his last
I need,
email.
somebody needs
And I'm
to.
like, yeah, no,
They'll take it that way, but yeah, that's.
Stuff, what I was supposed to do next, what am I supposed to do?
That's why I said, like, either we do it right, or don't do it. Like, you know, it's like, hey, you can't, you
I mean, we can wander around, it's fine, but.
No, but even, like, my thing is like, look,
Yeah.
either take me seriously, right? And give me something.
Is that stapled to the
Proper.
wall?
If not, don't joke me around. I don't have
Yeah,
time.
ain't
Like,
nobody got time for
yeah, it's
that.
a self-respect thing. Like, look, I'm not begging here. Like, I'm helping you guys, kind of working with you. And, huh? So, yeah.
No. He said he started streaming. And Max, did he start saying the camera mic on?
Earlier.
Oh.
It shouldn't be. It's just streaming.
Yeah, he started to stream.
Oh, that's why he's. Don't get me started. I can hold on. I'll
Everything's
see.
muted.
Okay. Yeah, now everything's muted. We're good.
Oh, really? Hold on.
You know, I was just like, oh wait.
Are you on the stream?
Yeah, I
Did you hear
embedded.
things?
Yeah, I'm.
And that's something, someone needs to be on the stream the whole time just
He
listening.
is.
Yeah.
He's got
You need headphones? Okay,
Yeah.
headphones.
Hold on. I think I may have headphones, but. Do you have some?
Headphones here if you want.
Huh? You give me some nice. Well, here it is. We got. Oh, there we go.
So somebody, whoever knows what the next transition needs to be, write it on this thing. If it's like, we're gonna have, no, that's not good.
You see that?
Yeah, I can't say
If
that.
you're gonna be like, if you're gonna go to the next video, timing or something like, you got 5 minutes, you got 20, so whatever,
Yeah, that's-
go next to Gaz, write it on this, and then show it to us.
But then I need my own.
You need your own, like,
No, I don't need that. I like
Well,
the
he
art.
said,
I have all this. I'm saying my guess.
Oh, yeah.
you need to find your guest.
Right? Exactly. Thank you.
I don't know why he told me.
So we can,
Okay, and,
She's just one of the people on the live stream.
okay, I mean,
So-
I'm.
so as of right now, we have Yaz, Oscar, and Carl.
He sent you the link.
That's what we go with right
That's
now.
basically. I mean, we'll switch it up. We'll switch it up as
Me.
needed, man.
I just muted everything because they were scared that.
Yeah, we were talking.
Oh, but then can you tell us how you get the live? Or how did that connect?
Just email her the thing.
No, she has it. She just needs to like get set up.
What do I need to tell her? Put a headset in? or-
Yeah, like do the.
So I unmuted. You can-
What's that?
Hey, Monica, so
We don't need it, okay.
it's Naeem.
Yeah, we were talking.
Okay. You have a question?
Am I gonna be?
Oh, you're here at the office?
Yes.
Excellent.
So this-
We're on the second floor.
Good. I can.
This here is
The second floor.
Hey.
Okay, yeah.
Here,
So
here.
you
Oh.
gotta turn on the microphone.
We're on the second floor. Are you walking up?
You got like four.
Yeah.
That's 256.
You got 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay, no, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay, no, you're good. So Monica's here too, so,
Oh, she is?
yeah.
Good. I can move
Seen
her
as a
up.
dry erase board.
Okay. Guys?
Yeah.
We'll go.
Okay.
The videos will run according to the flow because I
Okay.
can't just say,
So-
so we can, Monica's here, so we can move Monica up there. I mean, native beans here. I don't know.
Think-
Hop on?
I can hop on.
Yeah, please.
Because Ashram knows how to do this.
I'll just, how quick, I mean, you know, you can hop on, so that'd be
You know,
good, because, you know, since that you can get.
Oh, yeah, when you three are on, I'll be.
Proper, have you.
I filled some stuff in to see what.
And Carl,
Okay.
make yourself free. That's it.
Well, either way, I still.
There's like a insurance, there's an insurance place downstairs.
Oh, I think she's there, in the two-story building, is she over there? I did too. I
Oh.
messed so too.
You need to come down. You're where there's like a little circle.
There's a
kinda-
two-story building, right?
There's a 2-story building that's like with a circle in front of it,
Like
like
outside walking.
that you could drive around. I think you're on the wrong side of the parking lot. You need to come to the other building,
Third story.
the 3-story building.
I did the same thing.
That,
So weird.
it's like 3-story. You can see my white. I have like a white Volvo station wagon parked
Next
out on the
to
side
Black
of it.
300.
In a, no, you need to be on the Baron. You need to be on the Baron Cameron side, like Elton Street side.
Okay. And that was how I got here. I said, create a live stream. Carol, please engage. I will say, this is not a 360. Next.
Hey, Sergeant. What?
You good, bro? Go ahead and.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. What's up, man?
How's it going?
How you doing? Long time?
I
How
know.
you been?
It's been a minute.
All right.
Hi, sorry.
Hey, Zygon. Welcome home. You should have brought the tux. Just kidding.
That was my first time here. It's,
Yeah?
yeah. Good. Alhamdulillah.
Good, good.
Wow, it's
All
good.
right. Glad you're here. I can.
Ryan and
Where is it? Good, I can move you up somewhere in here.
How are you doing?
Assalamu alaikum, man. How are you?
Good to meet you in person.
Yeah, right?
How's it going?
Good, good. Okay, so.
okay, Monica's here. He's here. You got Yaz on the phone, so you got good enough to get started.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, guys. How are you? We good?
How are you? Start history.
I'm good, man.
Yes, Naeem and Carl.
Yep, we starting
You
together.
don't want to start? You want to go in
Are we starting
afterwards?
together?
I mean, we can start with Naeem.
Because we're getting our.
Okay, so I'll start with Naeem, and then you can jump in, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll get you in there. All right. So we'll start with.
Hey, Naeem, is there open Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
Who has it?
he had. It's over here on the. Speaker, I think. You know where the Wi-Fi goes?
What would you say?
The Wi-Fi going?
Oh, it's on the, I think it's on the, there, on the corner.
Here, under the computer.
Oh,
Lift up that computer. Lift it up.
oh,
Right there.
okay.
Right, put right there.
All right, it's 3 o'clock. We need to get in it.
Right, whatever you need to sit. I guess you can sit in the middle, so you have one guest.
Who's going to be on with me right now?
Well, it's you first, just you by yourself, with native Dean Abdul Malik.
Abdul Malik's not going to be on.
Yeah,
He's
he said
switching.
he was gonna come real quick. Right, Abdul Malik?
What's that?
You gonna jump in? Like in the beginning, and then after that, then get out.
All right, do we have like that on-air like thing on the? Sister Hassan, do you have that thing that you put on the door?
Maybe I should have had the
The one
video
taped to the
play.
door?
Yeah.
Oh, outside?
Oh, yeah, it's going
Outside.
down.
When?
It was taped on this side. Now it's, I think it's on the other side now.
Is
I
it? I
can just print another one. Do you see it there or is it already up there? I'll print one.
don't. It's on there.
Okay.
Is there? Good.
Oh, it's there. Okay, cool. It's there.
It's on the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we just gonna wait, or like, how's it gonna happen? Are we gonna let everyone together? Or?
No, basically, Naeem's can be our host and Carl.
So again,
and then we'll do.
So, again-
Always on, always live.
Yeah, I did.
So every
We're about to
time
go
we'll
live.
just get one person.
Join us.
So it'll be
Okay.
one person.
And in between
Is
is
it on
like
the
an
Facebook
ad
page
or
of Deen
something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Hey,
No.
is it on the Facebook page of
And
Deen
then time in
TV?
between.
Deen
we'll
TV,
have-
yeah.
Yeah, it will be.
And then
Okay.
live stream, you don't need a video. You can switch it.
Doma, you got cameras on with microphones on.
TV studios.
Okay.
and
I think everything's still muted.
We're about to go
Yeah.
live.
No, I hear it in my headphones.
Deen TV's Facebook page.
Abdullah
See there?
did.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna talk about like.
Why
charity
everything's
reports
muted?
on Ramadan.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. His
Because I think I'm gonna be
camera,
last.
he has a camera that has a microphone
Or
on it.
kind of.
Because
I hear all you guys.
Depending on the expression of saying.
And my no mics are currently, well, this one is on.
Okay,
Let me
gotcha.
see.
Yeah, and then.
They should all be on.
And
Yeah,
is
but
this being recorded?
something else has
Or
a
if
microphone
yes,
and it's on. I'm hearing myself 100%.
Okay.
Maybe it's the one up the top.
No, that's what I don't see any.
Yeah, it's that one.
It is
I think it's that one or this one.
infrared web. Do not see a mute button on that one. Is that our people out there?
Yeah, well, there's one issue.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's sad.
We did.
Oh, there is?
I didn't know.
No, any other country?
I've been to Bangladesh. I mean, I'm from Bangladesh, so I've been there.
Perfect, you work in something.
Yeah.
Mine, that's how it goes.
That's okay.
Certainly.
Let's see. Oh, Mike.
Guys still
Right
email.
there.
I think we, on the email.
You get email.
And I hear a microphone.
Have a seat.
So, do like no one else?
I'm not over here.
I found the switches.
Wait a minute, he says he's got it over there. Keep going. looking to support Islamic Relief's work in Yemen when it comes to food security and feeding people. We know that they've been, it's now a war-torn country for a number of years now. So many people have been affected by it, and there are people. We're only able to do that when you guys support us. So make sure you're supporting us at irusa.org and donate. Donate today to Yemen. We're asking people to donate to Syria as well. We're doing food packages that families that can use these packages there as well. And we're also telling people to donate to our East Africa projects as well. All these places we're doing food packages that will last a family about 2 weeks to a month, depending on the size of the family that needs it. And only to me, I just think about it. I mean, think about the joy that people will have opening those boxes. Could you imagine that? Imagine that you or your family were one of those people who were food insecure, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then that month of Ramadan came, and then boom, someone says, "Hey, here's a Ramadan food parcel that was sponsored by your friends somewhere in the U.S., somewhere from New York, somewhere in California, somewhere in Chicago. Your brother was thinking about you." How would you think you would feel?
Oh,
in that moment?
that would be probably one of the best moments ever, because you know, when you find, you know, Allah says in the Quran, you know, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ, when you trust in Allah, يَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ, that Allah will provide for you where you never even knew,
Right.
like in places where you ever knew. And when that happens, when you get those moments where you're like, oh my goodness, I just got something from Allah. Whether, I mean, I can only imagine of what they would feel.
Oh.
But when you get something small like, you know, some maybe a check in the mail, like
Right,
from the
right,
IRS or
right,
something,
right,
like, oh, all right, you know. When Allah does that to you, it's a great feeling, and we should be the means from which people have that feeling.
And that's a good point, because when you sometimes have those unexpected gifts that came, some extra funds or whatever, celebrate it by donating.
Yeah.
Share what you have. Share what you have with the people in humanity. Share what you have with people that are truly in need. So I think we're gonna go ahead and switch to a video now.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have an IRUSA general video, so you can be able to see the work that your funds will go to, that the types of people you'll be supporting, and the effort that you're joining. This worldwide effort of Islamic Relief that works in over 40 countries around the world, serving some of the world's most neediest people. So let's go ahead and run the video, and thank you, Brother Abdul Malik, for
Thank you, Naeem Muhammad.
being in the studio with me and,
Really?
and sharing.
It's such a
this.
good feeling to be here with you in the studio. It's a very, you know, it doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen often, only on TV.
All right.
Ramadan is a month where miracles are possible. When the world feels divided, we can use the power of this month to stand together. It has come to us as a mercy during turbulent times, for refugees, for victims of
العالم يعني صار نفس الشيء. بشوف والله العظيم كان عيد علينا اليوم بدها تجي سلات، احنا يوم كنا نتوعد بالسلات، كنا نشتغل وكنا هذا ونشتري وناكل وكل شيء. بس الحزين بعد نستناهن والله، نستني اهل الخير، الله يكثر خيرهم بجاه الحبيب محمد ولا يذوقهم اللي ذقناه يا رب.
that are supporting Islamic Relief's on live appeal. One of the first times we've done that here at Deen TV, and we thank you guys for tuning in and watching. We're going to have a lot of different guests throughout the day. A couple hours actually. It's going to be a quick one, alhamdulillah. For 2 hours we're here broadcasting, bringing you these messages of hope, bringing you these messages of support to people in need, inshallah. So again, we just had our good brother Abdul Malik with us a minute ago, talking about his experiences working with Islamic Relief for the many different years that we've had as the t-shirt, alhamdulillah. I got a lot of these at home. And I've been actually a part of the different missions that we've taken around the world that look into feeding people. I've been to Indonesia after the tsunami and got to visit Banda Aceh and other places like that. I got to visit our work in Mali and get to visit orphans and see how their lives are. Visit also when there was the crisis in Darfur, I was actually able to go to Chad, to the border of Chad and Sudan, and get to meet these families, see these people who are in desperate need. And alhamdulillah, Islamic Relief was one of those aid agencies that was aiding in their support, alhamdulillah. And today again, in this blessed month of Ramadan, we're in the last 10 days of this month. The last 10 days, it's as if it just happened. It's as if it just happened, it just started, and we're already towards the end of it. Only a few days left. This time next week will be our last day of fasting, and then we'll be getting ready for Eid. But before that happens, before that time's up, we want to be able to do something for those in need. Islamic Relief has already sent food packages around the world, in so many countries around the world. Today we're focusing on Yemen, on Syria, and countries throughout East Africa like Somalia, Ethiopia, and others, that we have food packages there. But we need people to sponsor those packages. And they can do that at IRUSA. IRUSA.org/donate, and you can be one of those who are donating to this cause, alhamdulillah. And as I said before, these food packages will last a family, depending on their size, 2 weeks to a month, that they can get these packages of food. And these are families who are in desperate need, who are food insecure. And when I say food insecure, I mean families that for whatever reason aren't able to provide meals for all the members of their families, those 3 meals a day that we are normally expecting for our families. It was said recently at one of our dinners that an imam got a call from a person who was like a beneficiary, or a person who was in desperate need. And he asked them that if I didn't have suhoor, and if I don't have something to break my fast with at the end of my day, does my fast still count? Basically, this person is perpetually fasting. Does his fast still count? What we're trying to do is to make sure people like that person who asked this very poignant question, that we have food for you. We want to provide that meal for you. We want to provide that meal through those food boxes to you and your family, so you too can enjoy this blessed month for all that it has. Why should they have to be spending their day worrying that will they have something at the end of it? Where the places that we live and the places that we're broadcasting from, where people are donating, every night in many of the masajid across the country and around the world have an open iftar for people to come in and have their fill of whatever it is. All you can eat buffet at a mosque around the country, here in the States especially, and other places and around the world where they're able to do that. But there's so many others who are going without. They're going without that suhoor, or very basic suhoor, where we have friends and family who are competing against each other like, hey, come to my house for iftar. Or how many iftars did you get invited to this month? Or how many iftars will you attend this month? Or how posh your iftar was this month. I want to ask you, how many people in need did you feed? How many people who desperately needed it did you feed? And that's what we're here doing today, inshallah. We are providing for those families. We're providing for those widows. We're providing for those orphans. We're providing for those people who in the morning are starting with very little and praying that someone will provide for them, praying that Allah will provide for them that night. Let's hope that one of you who are watching this can be our be the answer to that dua. You be that one that Allah sends to that person to support them when they're in desperate need. So you can go ahead, click the link below to donate, and donate today. We need you to get on board. We want to see these numbers going and going and going. We know it's maybe a youthful audience, so if it's youth that are watching this or students watching this, tell your parents, like, hey mom, get on Deen TV right now. Get on there and donate. We need to be a part of this effort. The last 10 days of Ramadan are ticking away or are going away. Let's not waste another moment. I know you've been giving throughout the month. I know you've been giving throughout the month. The weeks have been going, that you've been supporting people. Why wait? There's still more you can do. There's still families that need food. There's still families that we can feed. There's still people and packages that we need to sponsor. Be one of those people who will be the answer to those calls, answer to those dua that are in need. So so we're gonna have another guest on with me now. Again, keep donating, keep doing what you're doing, and invite your friends to the live stream as well, so we can get this on and cracking. So I'd like to bring on our next guest, our good brother Syed Dora. Go ahead, clap it up for everybody. Bring him on. So like, oh, you right there, bro. So like, rahmatullah. How are you, Syed?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Good, good. Where are you just coming from? I think you were just at an event for Ramadan Eid anyway, just now.
Yeah, my sweat still hasn't dried. I was at the Eid toy drive. We were doing it outdoors, actually, at Adams Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And at the Adams Center. So what's the Eid toy drive like? Just so people who are watching this for the first time.
So when you hear Eid toy drive, you think that it's just a drive where they collect toys and then just donate them. This is a little bit different. It's more of an activity. So you bring toys, you sit down, you wrap these gifts with your family, and then write a little Eid card, and you leave the toy there when it's all wrapped, and get a little certificate for the kids that say they completed it, and then those toys go to needy kids. So we literally were just outside, about 90-degree weather, wrapped up about 300 toys.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
But that's the Eid toy drive. And can you tell people a little bit what you do with Islamic Relief?
So at Islamic Relief USA, I'm the National Volunteer Manager.
Okay.
So, there's two ways to give to Islamic Relief.
Okay.
There's give with money, or give with time.
Right.
Or I guess give with dua too. So there's three. Right. So
you can do 1, 2, or 3. Right. But we don't care.
Right. So I'll take the dua and the time.
Right.
And if you got the money, I'll find some brothers and sisters and take that too.
Excellent. So now, you actually came back from the field not too long ago, and you've actually visited the types of families who would receive a Ramadan food package or have other food packages from us in the past. Where did you come from, and did you have any stories from any of those trips that might let people know what the need is like there out in the field?
Yeah, it's crazy because obviously, I'm still a comedian, right?
Right.
So,
okay.
I still do my thing, and my performances, and I always think I can make anybody laugh. But, you go out. We went to Jordan and we visited a lot of refugees, a lot of even Jordanians in need, Syrians in need.
Palestinians in need, and visited them. So it's a different audience at that point. Like, you know, to make one of those kids kind of laugh or those parents laugh, you really have to step up your game. So it was an incredible experience going. You know, there were times where, you know, we could hear some of the, I guess I should say, some of the violence in the distance. We were only a few kilometers at some points from Syria, so that was kind of intense, and really just taking things for granted. You have to kind of not think as a normal human being, you know, at least a normal human being who's you know, lives in the United States and blessed with, you know, with so many different things. So it was tough because you'd hear a mom talking about how difficult it is to provide for her kids when they just want the finer things. But a finer thing for them is clean water, is one sister just wanted to get her kids a green apple. And it took her a couple months to get that.
Really?
So it was really, really intense. But, you know, for those who are doing Ramadan food packages, you don't realize that we're thinking as if it's ourselves. We're thinking you open the box, you see rice, you see lentils, you see these things, you know, and you make a meal with it. Or this bag, this may not last me a week or two in my house. Well, this is different. They use everything, including the box.
Right.
We went to homes that literally had no windows, and they were using the boxes in the windows to keep the elements out. You know, one sister was just putting her hand on her wall, and she's like, "I just got this." And I said, "Oh, you just moved here?" She said, "No, this wall." Wow. Because she didn't have 4 walls on her home for quite some time, and now she was able to get a 4th wall. So, again, you have to like remove everything that you're used to seeing here, and there's, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah. I think one of the things too, like especially if we talk about your volunteer work, recently, I know right now we're focusing mainly today in the donate there. So please, at any point that you feel moved, go ahead and click donate and get involved and help us with this great effort. But recently, we had a volunteer effort where actually here in the States we were building Ramadan food boxes. So we're doing that type of work here. And how many volunteers were you able to amass to be able to do all these boxes, and what was that like?
So for that project, it was intense because I think we had about 500 or 600 volunteers that literally signed up in about 7 days. That just wanted to be a part of this project, to show up, and you know, it was all ages. I always joke with people, tell them, you know, a 3-year-old is a perfect height to drop things into a box. So people had their 3-year-olds, their 5-year-olds, their 10-year-olds. So everybody was there putting these packages together. But what's intense is that, again, because we live here, we always, like when you click donate, some people will say it doesn't feel the same. I'm clicking donate, I don't have that feeling. Trust me, the people who need it in the places that they need it, they're hoping you're clicking that button. Because the bottom line is, this is what we do. Like, people always want to be close. Like, I want to give this to the family that needs it.
Right.
Well, if everybody had that opportunity, I mean, to me, this is like Hajj. You know, like, to me, Hajj is with this amazing thing that you need to do at least once in your lifetime, right?
Right.
To me, this to me is you know, it really refocuses you,
right,
you know, in a different way. You're able to go, you know, to these places and see this stuff. So if you're clicking on that donate button, trust me, there's somebody that's out there that's trying to do some work. There's some volunteers in Syria. There's some people risking their lives that are counting on you clicking that button, because they're able to do that work.
And
so.
you're just as, like you said, and you as a donor are just as much as a part of the relief work as any of it. Because if you don't click donate, the only thing we have is sad faces to give people. The only thing we have is like we want to do something, but we don't have the funds to do it. The only way we're able to do that is if we combine your efforts here at home, getting your funds being able to purchase the things that they need, and then working with our staff and volunteers and partners on the ground to serve those families, to get those meals to them where they're desperately needed. But you are one of the, I mean, you're the key as the volunteer, as the donor, and even volunteers who are packing those boxes. You guys are the key part to this, because if we don't have your effort, there is no effort. Like some people say, if there's no money, there's no mission. So, and we want the mission to continue. We want to keep working together for a better world. We want to keep feeding these families. We want to keep those smiles on those faces the whole month of Ramadan. We need you to join us now. Join us, click donate, and join in on it. We don't care what country you pick. We don't care. I mean, does it matter to you, like, what country you pick? We just want them to get on board, right?
No, I always tell people, don't think about yourself. Don't look in the mirror and think, I need to give to what I see in the mirror. You don't need to concentrate on that. You need to just really click on that button, give that donation, because what you get in return is something nobody can ever give you. It's not a tax receipt. It's not, as we always say in this world, there's two ways to get, a hand and forgiving. There's somebody to clap for you, but then there's somebody to make dua for you.
Right.
And every family that we went to, literally, when we would say, what do you have to say to the person who's helping provide this for you today? And to have this mother, to have this young child put their hands together and say, Ya Allah, please protect this person. You can't buy that.
You can't buy that.
You can't go on Amazon. You can't go on eBay.
Right.
You can't buy that. And it's intense. It's really an intense situation. These people need everything they got. And don't forget too that it's not about $1,000 or $100,000. That apple that sister was able to buy because somebody sponsored her child was probably 15 cents.
Right.
So it's,
Speaking of money, right now, they said so far right now we're up to $5,400 that they were able to amass so far, but we want to keep it going. This whole thing is supposed to happen in a matter of about 2 hours. We have just about an hour left for this appeal that we're doing today. Please join us. Don't wait for this time to go past. Like I said, last 10 days of Ramadan. I mean, it feels like we just started. I know we work at IR and we spend months and months getting ready for this, and then it just goes, right? It just goes. Like, I can't even believe it. And we want to make sure that we don't leave anything behind. We don't want to leave any chance behind, because we don't know what that chance can mean to you, or to you and your akhirah, beyond that, but to those families here. Why leave it up to chance that we feed this one or that one, when you can be one of those that supports today and make sure that that child doesn't go hungry? I was telling them the story. I remember you were at the Grand Iftar we were doing here in DC, where Anwar, the CEO of Islamic Relief, was talking about the person wondering, is his fast counted if he didn't have a suhoor and he didn't have iftar?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you even say to that? I mean,
I was talking to a group a couple of days ago, and I was telling them, a lot of the people, if I could say almost Islamophobes, the people out there who are kind of, looking down on the religion, they think of things like fatwa. They think fatwa is this bad thing, right? But I was telling this group, I was like, think if you actually in the humanitarian world, do you hear this word fatwa a lot? The fatwa of, if I don't have water, can I still make wudu? Is there a fatwa for that? If I don't have meat from a lamb or a cow, can I eat a dog?
Wow.
Is there a fatwa for that? Can I take the life of my wife before someone takes their dignity? Is there a fatwa for that? That's something you can't even fathom. The situation I have. When I was there in Jordan, there was a room full of 40 sisters. And here, if I were to go to a masjid or a cultural center, there was a group with 40 sisters. What are they into? Oh, they're working on a project. They're doing this particular activity. They're planning another event. I said, what are these sisters here? They're like, oh, well, we group them by condition. So what do you mean by condition? They said these 40 sisters have all been in some way abused or assaulted leaving Syria into Jordan. So they bring them into this room and they talk to them all at the same time, because they can't actually afford the time to sit down and work with them one-on-one. So they do 40-person group counseling for abuse, and we were offering them an opportunity to seek, you know, treatment, to get treatment, to get help. Something so simple, you know. So for a lot of them, to be quite honest with you, when they get these Ramadan food boxes, that's home.
Right.
That's the first time they look into the package and they see home. They see the lentils they used to have, and you already know. You have some kids. I have some nieces. I don't have any kids yet. Inshallah, one day,
We're
right?
working.
We're working on it. Right.
Last 10 days. We make it do for you, bro. We make it do for you.
You know, but at the same time, the kids, when they tug on your sleeve and they tell you, oh, you know, Khalu, Ammu, Dad, whoever it is, Baba, you know, I want this. What they're asking for over there is a completely different story. Like, we were just at the toy drive and some of the kids were walking up with a toy going, should I package this with another gift because this is not enough to play with?
Right.
And I'm sitting there saying to myself, over there, when we were walking through one of the camps in Jarash camp, also known as Gaza camp, the kids played a game of tag with rocks. So that's all they had, so they would just throw rocks at each other, and if it hit you, you were it. I'm thinking, man, are you serious?
We used to do that in East Baltimore too,
right?
Like rock fights, but I understand.
No, but what do we do here? Like, my sister's one of the biggest ones. She'll come and tell me, Syed, I don't know if what's on TV is appropriate for these kids. Cover their eyes.
Right.
Who's covering those kids' eyes?
Yeah.
There's nobody covering their eyes. They're open to these elements. And the one thing that can bring them all together, you get in this Ramadan food box, you're making this meal, you're sitting down, you're not serving them food, you're serving them normal.
Wow.
They're feeling like home.
That's it right there. You're not serving, you're not sharing a meal, you're serving them normal. Trying to get some normalcy to them, people who are on the run, trying to get to safety, trying to get to shelter, trying to get to help. And then, I mean, I always thought, I was telling people when we were doing the Ramadan food packaging here in the US, was saying, when you're filling this box up, think about the family who's gonna see that for the first time. Pulling out, oh, I don't have to buy rice now. I have 10 pounds of rice here. I don't have to buy sugar for a long time. There's enough sugar here. I don't have to buy oil. This is what oil is in here. All this, that joy, and then we even put a little sweet in there for the kids, so that and they're like, everybody, there's something for everyone. You know, the mom or the dad is like, okay, I have money for something else that I can put on the side. Maybe I can put something, a little money on the side for Eid for these guys now, because Islamic Relief has come in and put this and bought these things that now I can put money in other places. And there are people who are making decisions like that.
Yeah.
Do I feed this one? Do I medicate this one? Do I save this one? Or do we just suffer altogether?
Yeah.
So that's why we need you guys on board with us. Support these Ramadan food packages. Again, we're looking at, we were talking a lot about Yemen today and Syria, and also those countries in East Africa that are suffering from the effects of climate change, the droughts, even wars that are happening in the region, or violence that's happening in the region as well, that's making it difficult for families to feed themselves. In Islamic Relief, your partners on the ground who have the expertise, they have the staff on the ground, they have the will, they're ready, but they need you. Without you, it doesn't happen. Without your funds, it doesn't happen. So let's get on board right now and get you guys to donate, and let's keep this going, inshallah. And also, if people want to get involved beyond just donating, how do they get involved in the work that you're doing specifically, Syed? Because people are like, I want to fill up a food package.
Yeah.
I want to wrap some e-toys. I want to do these things. That sounds great. I live in this town, and I live in Skokie. I live in like Boise, Idaho. I don't live in a big town. Do you have to live in a big town to be able to help with us, or what?
Not really. I mean, if you log on to irusa.org/volunteer, you can sign up. But we always tell people the two ways that you sign up, or really the two ways that you volunteer, are either wait for our call or call us.
Right.
Tell us that you see a project. Tell us there's something that you want to work on, and just tell us what support you might need. We literally can't do it without all these volunteers. You know, we can't do that project without all of these donations. You know, so just log on to the website again, irusa.org/volunteer. Sign up on there, fill out an application, get going. And
And that's, it's funny, that's how I got involved in Islamic relief a million years ago. Not quite a million, but maybe half a million.
100,000.
Yeah, at least 1,000. Our CEO at the time, now, but at the time, he was just a fundraiser, Brother Anwar Khan, came to tell us stories about what was happening in Bosnia, what was happening in the wars in the Balkans in the 90s, and we were just fresh out of high school, we're still in high school, and it really got us like, what can we do? How can we get involved? So we started out as volunteers, and that carried into making it a part of our lives, not just, I did that one dinner, or I did that one pack out. Brother Syed, what he's doing, right now, I think, how many volunteers have you signed up? And I think it's an impressive number in the last year.
We're at about nearly 5,000 in the last year that have signed up. So
MashaAllah. So
we need 5,000 more though.
okay, exactly. Yeah, he has this amazing, they gave him a goal. I don't even want to talk about the goal because it's an insane amount of goal, but that's 4,000, almost 5,000 people who are looking to do something, to get involved and to get going. We're telling those people right now who are online to get involved and to get going with sponsoring these food packages. Again, I want to, they say like a picture is worth 1,000 words. I want to show you a video of Islamic Relief's work in Syria so you can understand what your money is going to, the type of people you'll be supporting, and how effective this work is. So let's go ahead and go to the video. And again, thank you, Syed, for joining us. I know you might come back in, you might take a break,
whatever you need.
Toys on the side.
Just find a country you've never been to and click on that one and hit donate.
There you go.
That's all I ask.
Let's do it.
Cool.
أنا هون داوني بغيروا لعزلي الدكتور قال الصباح بدنا نفك السياق الصمون بعدين أنا بحبكن بحسن نكل أمي كانوا بعطونا دواء هيك عن أختي بتوزع بعطوها حباي إذا كان فيها سياق وإذا الإصابة وصبعت هون هيك مع الصوة. أنا اسمي حسن 5 سنين أبدأ أنسيلون كبواب وأبكي بعدين طلعوا زمان 3 زلام طلعوا سعفونا هاي الإصابة بس الناس مسفت ما ضمدون هي بس هاي ما دي فيديو أنا صورة بس صورة.
Children to see what's going on in their lives. What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? what kind of aspirations do you have if you're living in a refugee camp? What kind of aspirations do you have if you're on the run for your lives, getting away from violence, getting away from war? What are your dreams and aspirations if you're living within a famine? SubhanAllah, I think about that, and it's just very moving. And I'm glad we had this video where we were able to have this child tell about their experiences. And again, like I said, we're going to continue on and bring on our guests today. And we just had Syed Dora. Syed Dora, the Islamic Relief's volunteer manager, amassing over 5,000 volunteers to get involved and get work going. And we're going to have our next staff member join us as well. He works in our marketing department, and one of those guys that are doing podcasts, and they're doing all his video casts, and they're doing live streams for us, alhamdulillah, and we're going to get him to talk about his work. So if we can have on the stage now our good friend, Brother Carl Dodge. Bring him in.
Assalamu alaikum.
How's it going, bro?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Good, man. How's your Ramadan going?
Alhamdulillah, Ramadan Kareem to you, man.
Yeah. So, tell me, let people, it's like, that's what you have to get used to when you're on camera like this. Now, so Carl, tell us a little bit what you do at Islamic Relief.
So, as you said, I work in the marketing department. So, whenever you're looking at stuff online, like Twitter, Facebook, and stuff like that, that's generally somewhere where I am. I was around there at some point.
The joke is you're the only one who's officially allowed to use Twitter and Facebook at the office. Everyone at the office who's using it, get off right now.
Yeah, right now. Because if something's posting on Facebook right now, it's somebody in trouble.
Yeah.
But and then of course beside that, I host the Water Relief isn't here with us today.
So what do you cover? What do you cover with Water Relief?
So with the Water Relief podcast, we do all kinds of stuff. We've interviewed you a couple of times.
Yeah.
We've interviewed, we do a lot of interfaith, we do a lot of interfaith, intrafaith. We've interviewed some folks from Highest, Bread for the World, Reverend David Beckman, which was always the one of my favorite interviews, because when we introduced him, and it was a joke, and we left it in the final cut, because we were like, this is Reverend David Beckham, not Beckman. Like the soccer player.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, I'm not a sexy soccer player, so it wasn't me. And to hear that come out of a reverend, it was kind of like, all right, this dude's got a sense of humor. We're going to stay here.
Awesome.
But we do a lot of that. And so I said Highest, Interfaith.
So these are all the different type of organizations that Islamic Relief partners with. We don't just do the work only by ourselves, but they say there's an African proverb that says if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, go together. So you're talking about organizations that we've worked together with in the field and done amazing things to take our relief even further and to do even more for people.
Absolutely. And in fact, one episode that we did, and I think it's been published already at this point, we interviewed somebody from IRW.
Okay.
And he had just left the East Africa, Sudan area.
Okay.
And he was telling us about what it's like there at this point. And I really don't like giving away stuff that we've done on the podcast, because we really want you to, as our tagline says, listen, share, and repeat. But I actually want to give this away because when I heard it, it really took me back. And I actually had to ask him a couple of times. I'm like, I'm sorry, you said what now?
Okay.
Because I was gathering around wells and they were attacking people because there's no food, there's no water. So the wildlife is turning on the locals just because they need food and water.
Survival.
Right. But what he told me was that there are packs of monkeys. Like legit monkeys, like coming out of the forest and attacking people looking for water and food because it's so bad there. And I don't know why that story affected me so much. But for me, I'm like, monkeys, like Planet of the Apes, kind of, this is what we're talking about?
Right.
And he's like, yeah. And it's just because that it's, well, one of the comparisons we've made, because I don't want to give anything away to our audience, but you and I are old enough to remember We Are the World.
I'm not old. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, I'm old enough to remember We Are the World.
Let's compare the gray hairs. Let's count
Okay,
them.
you know what I'm saying?
No. Okay.
So,
well, you got more hair in
I
places
do.
where I don't.
Well,
so
that's why you always wear the hat.
Yeah.
And that's why the camera always faces me, because if I turn around, the light would just shine.
Okay.
But
We Are the World.
yeah. So for those of you that are old enough to remember We Are the World, it was for a famine in East Africa, and that's a true story. That's not. I'm not exaggerating.
Well, even
but they're saying that what's happening now is worse than what happened in the 80s.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
No, one thing too. I mean, you're talking about like, the animals being this way. What the way they talk about that because of climate change, they said the wars of the next generation will be about the effects of climate change because people you have animals looking for these water and different things like that. When water becomes a very more and more expensive, people are moving. People are taking their animals to graze different places.
Right.
There are conflicts that happen. There are armed conflicts that have already happened just because of that on a small scale. If we don't combat these issues of climate change and how scarcity of resources, whether it be water or food, in particular what we're talking about today, conflict happens. People do daring things in their lives to risk a chance to be able to provide for their family so they can feed them. And what we're trying to do today is to get you to do something daring, to part with your funds, very small amount of your funds, to be able to make it easy for these families to provide for themselves. So they don't have to go through amazing lengths in order to feed their families and to provide. That food box that you're going to send to a family in East Africa, in Kenya, in Somalia, in Ethiopia, or sending food packages into war-torn Yemen, or to Syrians that have been affected by this war, you are helping these families that are in desperate need. I mean, and this is the work. This is every day for us at Islamic.
No, it is.
This
Yeah.
is every day for us. That connecting volunteers, donors, people who are concerned with those in need on the ground to support that effort. Now, along with the food boxes that we're doing there, you were actually, you got to be a part of our food boxes here in the U.S. too, right? Were you there? In the past, we've done food
In the
boxes.
past, yeah. I wasn't there this year.
Hey, man. Like I told our other guests, I'm very nice.
You are.
It could be 20 years ago, but you have, in the recent history,
Yes.
doing the food packages,
Yes.
what do you remember from packing those food packages?
I remember it was hot. I don't deal well with heat. As you can see, I'm sure my face is just like glistening in these
Yeah,
lights.
because we have to turn off the
I
AC
know.
while we're doing all this because of sound.
Makeup? No, kidding. But no, I remember that it was a lot, because I've only been to the actual packing itself. And it was a really great experience to see that many people come together and to put their effort and their energy and give up their Saturday. And I remember that year, it wasn't just a Saturday, but it was a Sunday too.
Yeah.
Because what ended up happening was we had all this volunteers there, and I think there was too much volunteers at one point.
Yeah.
But we had donations from companies
Mm-hmm.
giving the food that we had more left over to pack.
Right.
And so there was a second call that went out that afternoon asking people to come back on Sunday.
Finish the job.
Finish the job because we didn't, and people came back and smiled and
amazing.
helped and it's, I know from my end, again, dealing with web stuff, I get to see a lot of the same videos that you guys get to see. And to see the smile on the faces and to see what we're delivering to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it might just be, to us, packing, it might just be a box of food. It might just be, I'm gonna go ahead and put a bag of rice in this and some oil and here you go, happy Ramadan. But for that family that you're physically delivering that box to, it's hope.
Right.
It's hope.
Right.
And so while you guys are thinking, we're donating money so we can give food and we can give water and we can give education and people don't have to worry about being attacked by monkeys and hyenas.
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is,
that hope, donate that sustenance, donate that food that these families desperately need. Because we have to get into this. We have to meet these families. We have to feed them and give them the things that they need. So I'm told that we're going to have one of, what I'm told that, one thing you said about the, what was kind of cool, it was, I did the Ramadan food packing in Chicago this year with my colleague Ma'ab, and it was amazing. Like, this was the first time we ever did something like that in the Chicago area. And it was the first time we ever had that many volunteers come in and support this type of effort. So we were even nervous that we would even have, like you said, in the DC area, we might have like 50, 60 volunteers showed up. We had too many volunteers. When we first started our food box, alhamdulillah, when we first started out there, I was doing orientation to 15 people. 15 people to pack 1,500 boxes.
but yeah.
No, I'm saying this year.
Oh,
we did.
this year,
in Chicago,
15.
because it was our first time. We tried. I'm saying all I had was 15 people when we started.
Right.
But little by little, people trickled in, and then we were able to get them on board. And then we actually even pushed them to do even more boxes at the end. We extended the day, and we got it done, alhamdulillah. But talking about getting it done, talking about bringing more guests on with us, what I'd like to do now is bring in our good friend of the show, and a few weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please bring to the floor and bring to the video, and maybe he's hearing me now already, inshallah, I hope he is. Assalamu alaikum, brother Azhar Aziz, all the way live from Dallas, Texas. Brother Azhar, how are you doing, bro? Uh-oh, or maybe not.
Not.
Or what do you tell me? Azhar, he doesn't want to hang out with us? You need the headset here?
Yeah. Can you reach it?
Right here?
Word.
It's only gonna go in one ear though. So while we're looking for Azhar to come on, we're waiting for Azhar. It was great. The people who don't know Azhar Aziz, like I said, he is an executive with IRUSA, and he's also he's the head of our fund development group that works around the country to raise funds to help people in need. He also is a prominent member in the Dallas, Texas area, alhamdulillah, with at one point even the president of a masjid there. And people usually know him for his fundraising, because he's raised funds in the millions for people in need across the country. And one of his great taglines is supporting a Kareem or a Karima, and there's Mr. Kareem here.
Can you hear me, Naeem?
Yes, we can hear you, Azhar. Assalamu alaikum, bro. How's it going?
Nope.
Oh, we lost him. I'm waiting for brother Kareem, the Kareem, to give us a little push, because you need like those people like Azhar to give us that fundraising push. You know, those expert fundraisers who really know what they're doing, who really have an understanding of the work and all. So I think he's back with us. I think I see a picture of him. Is he here with us again? Azhar, let's try one more time, Azhar.
And I just want to say this is the beauty of live.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't do the
Beauty.
podcast live.
Yeah. It's like inner beauty though.
Yes. Are you saying I don't have outer beauty?
No, I'm not saying you.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think we switched it up. I think we switched up from Azhar, and I see one of our good friends also to Deen TV, and one of our longtime contributors. For a long time, she's known for YouTube fame and all the stuff that she's doing there. Can you please welcome Sister Yasmin, or Yaz the Spaz? Let's give it up for Yaz. Hey, Salam, how's it going?
How's everyone? It's going well here. Just been excited to come on today.
Awesome. What have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a bit. What have you been up to lately?
I know, I disappeared for, I want to say at least a year. So, yeah, it's kind of tough. Give props to all you mommies out there, for real.
Awesome. And give Mama Spaz our son. I mean, do you guys
I
compete with that
will.
name now? Do you guys compete with that name now? You being a Mama Spaz.
Congratulations to Grandma Spaz.
Okay. I mean, if you know today we're talking about what we're doing for Islamic Relief and Ramadan food packages and this kind of support. Now, being a mom, I mean, especially now, I mean, I think when we have something major like this happen in our lives, you think differently about things. And you think about providing for a young one and stuff like that. What thoughts do you have? Like, are you thinking about these families, whether they be in Yemen, Syria, East Africa, or wherever, that are trying to provide for their families and having these young eyes looking at them? How do you think that would?
Sad, and so I mean, we're so blessed in our lives living here in America, or just being able to provide for our children and our families, and having so much food to give our children, and even having so much left over, and thinking, my God, there's so many families out there that don't have anything, and you really want to be able to provide something. My husband and I were always, whenever we're able to donate, we just donate money, right? But sometimes, like you had said earlier, maybe just clicking that button doesn't seem like it's much, because you really want to be in the field, you really want to be seeing where it's going. But alhamdulillah, I've been able to see where it's going before. I've been able to see it before in the past. In 2013, like I said, I went to Haiti and I was able to see all the children being fed the food. I've been able to see them passing out checks to the families.
I have assumed one thing about people in need, but then being able to see it with your own eyes, how did that change your perspective of it in any way?
Oh, for sure, it changed my perspective. I mean, we take for granted so many things that we have in this life, like AC or electricity. We didn't have electricity during the evening. And literally, it's as if I was like sweating so much and I was dying, And imagine people live in that situation their whole lives, and at least we had a place to live in, and at least we had a bed to sleep on. One of the houses, or one of the places we had gone to, there was a family who had, oh God, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's like they were sleeping on the blocks, like the cement blocks, like that was the base of their bed. And it's just like, we're blessed with so much. I think we definitely need to be giving back. So if anybody is able to donate, they should be donating now. For my son's birthday just passed, and of course, we don't celebrate birthdays, but a friend of mine had given now. So inshallah, that's something that you guys can do with your children as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great thing to do. I mean, especially we actually have that, Carl, in our office we have a guy, Brother Omar Nassimi, he's kind of that person who does that peer-to-peer fundraising that gets people to trade that birthday that they had for giving to those in need, or people they even do wedding registries like this nowadays. People say, don't give us these nicely wrapped gifts. Give a gift of food. Give a food package to a family in Pakistan. Give a food package to a family in Yemen or Syria or somewhere in Ethiopia or Kenya that could really need it, that could really use it. Why? I don't need all these little bits and things. We'll be good on our own. But we can get involved. Encourage others to give. What would you say to young women that you speak to on a daily on your podcast or your blogs and whatever about this technology?
Definitely get involved. Every inch, every amount, every minute that you put into volunteering or to giving back to the community, like Allah will pay you back so much more, whether if it's in this life or even in the hereafter. They definitely have to get involved on the streets. This could be a family event. Just make goodie bags that have T-shirts, socks, a blanket, anything that they can use to survive, and go with your children and pass it out to the homeless people. And that's something that your children can actually see you doing, and it'll be something that they can in turn do it with their families and their children, inshallah, in the future. And of course, even do it with your friends. Get a group of girls and say, I all want to pitch in, and you guys should all be doing it right now, like I'll pitch in and try to donate right now, because now
we have the host an iftar, the birthday party, all of that stuff there, because we work with Launch Good hand in hand for all of those campaigns. So just go up there, and I know right now if you go up to launchgood.com/feed, you'll see the U.S. Food Box program up there.
So we're doing food boxes in those countries, like you said, Yemen, Syria, and East Africa, but we're also doing here in the U.S. And you can sponsor those through launchgood.com/. IRUSA. Oh, /feed. Awesome.
Yep. So my question for you was, you were talking about being in Haiti, being on the ground, as we say on the podcast, the boots on the ground kind of scenario. Were you there with IRUSA, or were you there independently, or?
I was there with another organization, which so blessed that I was getting the opportunity to go. But it was, like I said, it was definitely life-changing. Like I've never seen people living in the ways that they were living. And one moment or one situation that just was so beautiful to me, there was this little boy who had like a Twinkie, something that looks like a Twinkie or some sort of bread. I think it was a piece of bread or something. And there was another boy looking at him like, oh, like a younger boy just looking at him like, oh, that looks so delicious. And the other boy, you know, as little as he had, even gave to the younger boy. So imagine this little boy has nothing. He has a little cookie, and he even shared it with another boy who has nothing. And we have so much, and we should be giving so much more. And again, there were so many other situations. There was a little baby. I want to say he was probably not a baby, but like he looked tiny, like maybe 2-3 years old. And when we were giving them the food, it was like a huge bowl, like more than what I would eat, of course, maybe 3 times of what I would eat. And it had like rice and beans and some meat. But this kid was just like eating. He was like eating the whole plate. And it's like, subhanAllah, like we eat what we eat, but these people might get this food once a month or, you know, like that type of food, who knows? But that's why we need to continue giving, because it really puts a smile on their face. Their belly's happy. The families can all come together and eat a meal together. And any bit, like you said earlier, any bit that you give them, they will use each, either the box, they will use everything to good use, and they need it. They really need it.
You know, when you talk about even like, I've had some friends that come back from the field, and when we've just done a distribution where they were like, come eat with us now. They wanted us to join them in the thing that we just gave, because they're that generous. And then sometimes you want to, but and then sometimes we have to pull back, because we said if we eat what they just had, because they would give you everything, they won't hold back. Then we would eat what they would need for the rest of the part of their month. So sometimes you hold back. So that's amazing to me, to be able to see people who are in desperate need, ready to give everything. And today we're just asking some people, saying like, I mean, most of these boxes like 65, just under $100. You can sponsor me 1 or even 2 boxes. That's just a little bit, giving a little bit. But these people would give everything that they have in order for you or I to share with them. So I found that inspiring.
Well, I think I was going to say was that those boxes, while they may not last all of Ramadan, they do last for a hot minute. So this $65, you may feed a family for a week, 2 weeks, depending on the size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, I know I can't feed my family for $65, but I know we waste $65 a week at least.
Yeah.
So rather than actually wasting that money, maybe I should go donate it.
Definitely. And this could be your time. This is your time. This is your chance now to get involved. Click on the donate. Join us. Join us today at Islamic Relief. You are the missing link right now when it comes to supporting these families, supporting these boxes. We're going across the country, around the world, making these packages available to family. Again, I want to thank you again, Yaz, because you use your platform for good. I mean, it could just be just about Yaz and everything, just about Yaz all day long, but alhamdulillah, you're using this platform for good. So we want to thank you here at Deen TV and Islamic Relief for joining us. And if there are any parting messages before we go?
I have a parting question.
Oh, you have a parting question. Okay.
Yeah, because I have her undivided attention. I just want to throw out there, this is an open invitation to come join us on the Water Relief podcast, because we've actually been trying to chase you down over the last year and we haven't had much luck. So this is your open invitation to come join us.
Thank you, inshallah. I definitely want to get more involved. So please shoot me another email. I'm back, I'm getting back into things. So please email me again. And inshallah, I would love to work with Islamic Relief and charities in general. So please reach out. But thank you guys so much again for having me. And I pray you guys all donate. I'm actually going to go donate right now because how can I not, after having this conversation. I hope you guys all donate. I mean, I was just at Home Goods earlier today, and thank God I didn't spend whatever I was going to spend on there, for the house. I'm going to spend it over here instead because it's going to be going to families in need, and inshallah, you guys all do the same. So thank you guys again for having me, and inshallah, I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, Baz. Again, thank you for being with us today, and obviously everyone online, and keep doing what you're doing. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's great that we have guests like this, and we have guests that are online, and now we also have guests that are in studio. So what I'd like to do now, if possible, we have our first in studio non-Islamic Relief guest. Well, we had Abdul Malik, but he lives here. This is his studio.
Every time you call the dude or send him an email, he's like, "Yeah, I'm in the studio."
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, he's always here.
Yeah. So, but for now, our first in-store studio. Let's bring on world-renowned singer-songwriter, Brother Raif. Come on, bring it in.
Assalamu alaikum.
What's up, guys? Assalamu everyone. How's everyone doing?
So, Raif, this is the first time you've been in our studio over here, right?
Nice, man. I've been checking out the rooms. There's a lot more than you can see here.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
A lot.
And can I just tell you that since we've been doing the Water Relief podcast, we've actually spoken to him a couple of times.
Oh, awesome.
And this is the first time that he and I have actually met in person.
Oh, nice. So did you shake hands already?
Yeah, we did.
It was just for prosperity. Nice. Alhamdulillah. So, Raif, alhamdulillah, you have been busy lately. I mean, a little bit, just every now and then. What's been going on with you lately? I'm checking you out. I'm watching you on Instagram. I know everybody can follow you. How do we follow you on Instagram, by the way?
Raif Music is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the whole thing.
All right, awesome. So, you've been traveling a little bit? What have you been up to?
I've been to Indonesia. I was there a few weeks ago. And
were you just hanging out in Indonesia?
I wish just hanging out. It was a lot of work. We spent 5.5 weeks there traveling all across Sumatra, filming a TV show called Journey of a Backpacker, where I explore the history of Islam in Indonesia.
Nice.
So we went, I think it's something like 35 cities in 30 days.
Wow.
So you can imagine how busy that was.
35 cities in 30 days. Were they cities right next to each other? You could just take a walk? Or
No, we had to fly some 6-7 hour drives.
Any boats in there?
A few boats.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
A country of 17,000 islands. It's a massive country. A lot of really cool things. And they're broadcasting the show now across Indonesia. Every day it's a Ramadan show.
Nice. It's a Ramadan special. So every day people are watching you?
One city or one part of a city, depending on the episode.
Nice. Is there any city or any experience that stuck out to you on that journey?
Yeah, actually, Banda Aceh. I know you mentioned that earlier.
Okay. Yeah. I was
So
gonna hit that.
I visited Aceh province, which is in the northmost part of Sumatra.
And why should people know about Banda Aceh?
So Banda Aceh is one of the most northern cities in Sumatra, and it was very close to an earthquake that happened in the Indian Ocean back in 2004 that caused a massive tsunami that affected many cities, but the most devastating effect of that tsunami was in Banda Aceh. The waves were over 30 feet high, wiped out most of the city, hundreds of thousands of people died, and when I visited on my journey there, a lot of the people that I spoke to told me about the disaster that happened in 2004 and how they coped with it, and actually how they saw the wave come in.
Wow.
Terrifying. But since this is an Islamic Relief appeal, I actually saw a lot of people there with Islamic Relief USA T-shirts on.
Nice.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, nice.
They were red. They weren't blue. They were red.
Yeah,
but still, it said IR USA. I was like, hey.
Exactly, man. Many years ago, like I said, I went there. Like I said, I was down because it's
probably 405.
The tsunami in 2004. I went there weeks later in January.
Yeah.
We have an office. We had an office in Jakarta for a while.
Yeah.
And I met our team there. We didn't have an office in Banda Aceh at the time, but eventually we started in a little house there, and it really just mushroomed into a lot of different projects in the region. And I think you even visited, not Islamic, but you even did you? I think I saw you visiting a museum or
I
something.
did. So I visited.
Dedicated to.
Yeah, so they have the Tsunami Museum in Banda Aceh. It's a beautiful museum. If you're watching and you're from North Sumatra or Aceh province, you should definitely check it out. And they have, when you walk into the museum, it's completely dark, and they spray mist on you. And the idea is that you would feel the darkness and the fear that people had when the tsunami was hitting. And
so I'm going to ask a really stupid question, just because I watch way too much TV.
Okay.
Is this the place that movie, was it Sandra Bullock or somebody did a movie? Maybe it wasn't Sandra Bullock, but there was a movie recently about a tsunami that hit. And it, maybe not recently.
Not that I know of.
But
not that
I know it was Indonesia. But I'll have to check on that.
Not that I know, but Banda Aceh was the most devastated out of all. I mean,
Right.
it affected countries all the way up into West Africa, parts of India. Thailand got hit, and Banda Aceh. But because the earthquake just happened right off the coast, the waves, and Banda Aceh is right on the shore. So and there's no mountains between the city and the ocean.
Right.
So it got hit pretty hard.
So it's amazing to see people to survive things like this, and the resilience of people that they continue to grow and move on and continue with their lives. I mean, especially there was so much life lost. But I don't know, my experience with Indonesian people were very optimistic, very
they're just happy people.
Very happy people.
And then actually one really interesting story, because you guys were saying earlier about, I think it was either you or Syed said this earlier, that the more you give, the more you get. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses your wealth when you give from what you don't have. One of the cool stories that I came across there, I interviewed one man who could not have children. So him and his wife have been married for 15 years. They never had children. They've been trying for a while. And when the tsunami hit, his brother and his wife were killed in that tsunami, drowned. And they left behind 9 children. And so after the tsunami, he basically became their father. So he took care of them as if they were his own. And he said that the amount of blessings that he got from that was just incredible. And so that's just one of the stories of giving. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessing your time and your wealth.
And even just, I guess, like being in the moment, and when an opportunity comes your way, that what are you going to do? Like I said, these young people lost their parents. What are you going to? And it was a chance for him to get involved and to do something. What are you going to do in that moment? And that's kind of, I mean, I'm sorry, this is a fundraising appeal, so I have to put it back to the people watching. What are you going to do in this moment? There's an opportunity for you. There are countries around the world that are going to be getting these food packages that people are in desperate need. What are you going to do in this moment? Are we going to let it pass us by, and then then we wish later in life that we had done something? Or are you going to take this time now, make this moment, do something special, and help these families? Alhamdulillah. Now, I mean, I put him on the spot. I'll put you on the spot. Like, have you ever been involved in any like charitable or like feedings or anything like this in the past? Or actually, I know you're involved in a really great effort. Over at Launch Good, you help those guys at Launch Good, right?
So yeah, I mean, the idea of Launch Good, you guys probably know, is that it's a collection of people doing good, right? Everyone giving a little bit to support a greater effort, and that's why I'm really happy to see Islamic Relief team up with Launch Good for this project. And like as I said earlier, it's not. It could be as little as $1, or as much as 100 or 200 or whatever it is, whatever you can give. But the power of coming together is really incredible.
And I mean, like I asked Yaz a minute ago, like you're a parent now, you're a proud father, right? You're a proud father. I mean, I mean, also, your daughter has to be the youngest person I know that has a Facebook account, right? I mean, I don't know, does she check her for status and fix her status and then like
it's completely
take
managed
selfies?
by me.
Oh, okay, I was just checking because I remember
Starting her digital footprint early.
Nice. Hey, get it done. Get it done.
As a digital marketer, can I just say I'm very proud of you?
Thank
and
you.
I encourage
I
what you're doing.
But yeah, some people.
It sounds terrifying to a lot of people, but hey.
Some people pierce their ears at a young age. He gets a Facebook account. That's awesome. Go dad. So, question for you, as as a father, you are thinking about I'm providing for this one for your child and stuff like that. And I mean, God forbid, when you think about when families are dealing with this, I mean, how does it make you feel to think that if you're in a bad situation, a package like these food packets come in a time of need?
So I've done relief work before, and this was before I was a dad. So my daughter's not even a year old, so it's pretty new to this whole dad thing.
Okay.
But
I can tell you a couple things. I've done it for a little bit.
I know. I'm all ears, man.
Oh, awesome.
But I mean, you probably know this, that after you become a father or a parent, you don't look at disaster situations or people in need the same way.
Right.
Because when you see a child or someone in need, you immediately think about your own.
Right.
And I didn't before, so it's a completely different feeling, and one that's more personal.
Right. Awesome. Are there any projects you're working on right now, or are you looking forward to working on, or?
Yeah, I mean my new album. So
Okay.
my first album's been out since 2014.
Nice.
So I'm working on a new one now, and I
You-
don't know when it's gonna be out yet, but
Okay. I will tell you that right in that room next door over here, we got a nice vocal booth.
I
You
checked
can-
it
you
out.
Can pick up, you can plug in your guitar anytime you want to go ahead and get in there and do some things. Have you done any? Have you done any? Or are you thinking about doing any songs that maybe related to like people in need, or does that?
I mean, I stockpiled a whole bunch of songs, so
Okay.
I definitely wrote a few. It's just a matter of deciding which ones will make to the album.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay. No, I think we're really looking forward to that. We're looking forward to that and that album coming forward. And your travels. I mean, again, I'll be telling everybody to check him out on Instagram and Twitter and all this stuff like that. He's very vocal on different things that are happening around the world. Oftentimes, if there's some kind of like big social justice issue that's happening, very vocal on these. He even just came back this weekend with the launch of a new charity as well in England, and alhamdulillah, we want you to keep doing your work.
Thank you.
Keep Islamic Relief in its du'as, and keep the people in need in your du'a, and you guys keep giving, keep donating. We want to see those numbers go up. We want to see how many families are we going to feed with this broadcast. It's only about 20 minutes left, unless we're going to do some chicken in the overtime. I mean, we can do that if we have the time, but we want to go ahead and, again, like I said, a picture's worth 1,000 words, but what are these videos worth? These videos that are going to show you what these children are going through, what these families are going through their eyes, and what they're experiencing, and how you, as a donor, supporter, provider, can help. Donate today, and let's watch this video.
anigoo sayna maxaa warsamaa halkan waxaan haddeer waxaan joogaa in bila waxa I keenay xoolihii iga dhammaadan abaar culus oo dhacda la saamaysay halkan baan joognaa marba wixii isku
Okay, I wasn't saying anything. So no, it wasn't that. I was just saying it now so that nobody else.
Okay. For 5 minutes, hardcore ask. Please donate this straight up, and then we'll have.
What's the collection amount right now?
biyo iyo baad iyo cunto intaba waa doonaynaa abaar culus baana haysataa culus ilaahay naga kor qaadi karaan adana yaa naga kor qaadi karin baana haysataa waata halka iyo didibkaana keentay biyo iyo baad iyo cunto iyo hooy aad baan ugu baahana inanta yarna waa iga xanuunsanaysaa hadeero miyi baan kale baadiye awr baan ku qaadi jiro awrkii waa baxa dhakhtarna waligay ma geyn waa iska sit dhakhtar dee waa u baahan tahay ilaahay dartii ayaan u tubanna dadka halkaa aragtaan waxaa taagan ilaahay dartii buu u taagay cidna wax ma siiso dabka iyaga waa kaa waa bakti yaa gaajo dee haddaad dee wax noogu keenaysaa sidaasaanu nini
Welcome back, welcome back. We're so glad that you're joining us on this podcast, or excuse me, this live broadcast on Deen TV, Islamic Relief. Deen TV and Islamic Relief coming together to support families with Islamic Relief's food package program, where they are providing food packages to families that will last them maybe 2 weeks or a bit more, depending on the size of the family. We are hoping that, inshallah, we can continue to support these families, to continue to give and do what we can to help these families.
Remember I was saying earlier the beauty of doing things live?
Yeah.
There you go. But one of the things that we were talking about earlier, I think it was like 2 segments ago or 3 segments ago, is that when you donate to Islamic Relief USA, you're not just you're not just giving your money. You're also delivering hope to those people in need. Because I know, I think we were just at a fundraiser. It was a Grand Iftar, maybe.
Yeah, DC.
And they were talking about the DC Grand Iftar, and they were talking about that they were retelling the story of a woman who was saying, "Is it haram that I fast in the day and I starve at night?" Because she had no food to break her fast with. And so it is that when you donate that we deliver. And we really need you guys to help us make that happen. I mean, we're a bunch of really cool people and maybe a little goofy and definitely super young.
Some more goofy than others, but yeah, sure, goofy indeed.
But, but we definitely need your help so that we can continue the work we do. And it's only because of you guys that we can continue the work we do. And, realistically, at the end of the day, we owe you guys a huge thank you for allowing us to be able to do the work we do. And now I feel like I'm stuck in a Mobius strip, so I'm
No, don't worry about it. That's why I'm here to jump right in. We want you guys to jump right in and donate today. Know that, like I said before, the month of Ramadan is it's fleeting, it's gone. We're in the last 10 days. Know that months and months and months before, Islamic Relief USA, working with our offices and partners on the ground, getting ready for this month. Getting ready by getting those food stocks ready, making those packages, already sourcing where the families are that they're going to be supporting, and making sure that they have what they need. We do that in advance. We can't wait until the funds come in. We have to do that in advance because hunger is happening way before people decide to donate. But we need people now to sponsor that food that we sent already ahead. We need them to get involved today. And that's the only way we can keep it going. It needs you. You are as much a part of this relief effort as any one of us who wears this blue T-shirt. And you can definitely come get one of these shirts. I mean,
not this one.
No. Not that one. I think they can have.
It is. See, and I don't know what the camera. No, not this one. I don't know what the camera angle is, but y'all can see this. The limited edition What a Relief podcast.
Yeah, you can't get that one, but
you can get one of
these.
Get
one of these.
We can totally get
Islamic
this.
Relief, because this is for the people who are working with us. This is for the people, the volunteers, the donors, those who want to make a difference in this world. Many times I think about, we talk about, there's an analogy I use. There was a gentleman who was involved in Apple years ago. Right, he was involved in Apple in the early days when Steve Jobs and them were in their garage tinkering their way and different things like that. And eventually, he just said, "Enough is enough." Steve Jobs, he's done with Steve Jobs' attitude.
Yeah.
He's not hanging out with Wozniak anymore. He's like, "I'm done with these guys." They talk about the amount of shares that if he had kept with it and stayed in early, he'd be multi-billionaire by now. What I'm saying to you guys now, don't let this chance go by for you to invest in your akhirah. They tell us that, when we raise and we meet Allah, that there will be people who will see mountains of good deeds, and they say, what was that? I definitely did not do that much effort. when I was alive. There'll be mountains of deeds, good deeds. There'll be some small act of charity, some small thing that you did that multiplied. And Allah tells us when you're in an investment with Him, when you're in exchange with Him, you're in an exchange that there is no loss. You might invest in a stock, you might invest in an investment property, the place burns down or something happens to it and there's loss. But when you invest in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no loss. He's holding that investment. So we're saying this investment today is feeding the orphan, feeding the female-headed household, that widowed household that lost their breadwinner, that needs you to get involved. This is your time. Don't wait. Don't wait to the end of the podcast when things are about to end. There's minutes left. You're like, oh, maybe. Get involved now. These are the last 10 days of Ramadan. Some say the one day when it really gets to brass tacks. People don't mess around the last 10 days of Ramadan. They don't waste time. They're in the masjid for itikaf. They're in Taraweeh. Maybe they was only doing 8 in the beginning of the month. Now they're doing 20. And then they're coming for Qiyam al-Layl, like at 3 o'clock in the morning. And they're going to forget support. They're trying to get it in. Get it in today by donating at Islamic Relief USA and help with these food packages.
So I think, the other thing I would tack on just before, I think we're going to get ready to introduce our next guest. But before we do that, I wanted to say that, you were talking about the investment analogy. And whereas we are in Ramadan, that investment analogy really works, because right now you can get, for the price of 1 share, you get 70 shares.
Right.
So if you go and you donate, let's say, instead of going to the movies this weekend, because what's that going to cost you, 30, 40 bucks? You stay home, watch something on TV, give that 30, 40 bucks to IRA USA, that's half a food box. And if each one of those dollars is a share,
come on.
Now we're going to multiply that by 70, because we're in Ramadan and in the last 10 days.
Come on.
So, I mean, the math is totally, I'm a numbers guy, so that's
the
why
math
I
is for
love
you.
that
It's
analogy.
not against you in here. It's not. It's
Amen
for
to
you.
that.
It's your chance. And we're going to give another chance for one of our in-studio guests to join in on this effort and tell us what he's up to. Please welcome our good brother, Khalil Ismail.
My favorite guest.
How's it going, man? How's it going?
Assalamualaikum, man.
What's up, man?
You got the fresh. What's that? The fresh Celebrate Mercy T-shirt. What's this?
It's actually
What's this?
It's a pilgrimage store. It's one of the people I know in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Listen to my music and they sent me these. So I said,
So did they send you two?
Rep them. They did, but they sent me different sizes. So this is the size for us. The rest is the size for my kids.
Oh, so it wasn't for that. Yeah, man. So alhamdulillah, man. How you been?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. I can't complain.
Cool. What you been up to these days?
Man, fasting, trying to slow down during Ramadan.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
really?
just a little
You
bit.
slow down. Because that's what I was telling the people earlier. I said, this guy is he's like singer-songwriter, producer. He's helping with book publishing. He's making movies. He's like doing, he's doing philanthropy work. I know you be helping. So what does slow down and Ramadan mean?
Let me tell you about my last interview with this guy, which I think comes out this week actually on irusa.org.
Yeah.
He sat down and we were like, okay, just like you. So what have you been up to? Oh, not much, man. And Morton was off-site on Facebook, and he started scrolling. He's like, it says here you're publishing a movie and you're on tour and so when he tells you not much, trying to slow down, So
what's slow down in Ramadan?
Slow down in Ramadan really means slow down. Like I didn't. I'm at home with the family. You know what I'm saying? Trying to increase my prayers, especially at night. That type of thing. So I'm doing a lot of editing. I still got a lot of work to do just for things that I got going. But it's a lot of in-studio stuff, so I'm just trying to stay home and not travel like I was doing.
Why is that important for you to take this time?
It's important because I think to take a step back. Because when you running and going and doing and moving, sometimes you can get caught up in that. You know what I mean? It's always good to take a step back, assess what you're doing. How you're progressing personally. See if you need to adjust or correct some things. And look at yourself and that type of thing. Ramadan is the perfect time to do that.
Okay, that reflection. Is there anything in particular that once you're ready to go back into full gear, is there anything you're looking forward to getting right back into?
Yeah, well, I mean, inshallah, we'll be
getting some screenings going soon, hopefully. You know, we're looking at Philly and looking at Cleveland and then, you know, some other places right now. So mainly I'm looking at the screening and then of our movie I did with Zakia that I directed and she wrote. His name is His Other Way.
Okay.
So, you know, so we're looking, you know, to get that going, get a lot of screenings going from that. And then I'm getting back in the recording booth as well. So, you know, I'm working on a couple albums.
And like we told Raf, I mean, I know you got your own spot because I finished my album up in your place, but we got space, man. We got space.
Yeah.
You come on over. We got a little picture of the Kaaba in there for you. A little inspiration. We got space for you, man. Come on down.
Maybe me and Rob can do something together one day.
There you go.
Can I come hang out and watch that?
Oh man.
And then Deen TV, and then the native Deen could join in.
There you go. It'd be like a posse cut. It'd be cool.
Yeah, so down for that.
So tell me, you, like I said, you've been involved in different philanthropic type of efforts. What are the type of things that you've done in support of people in need?
Well, I mean, I've done a lot of youth workshops. I helped with the Muslim Women's Shelter for like 7 years.
Right.
And I did that. Now, you know, I'm working with some youth organizations to kind of help them get their media stuff out. But there's some stuff I have in the works, such as after-school programming and giving food to. I'm working on some programming for, you know, because I've, you know, been researching a lot that you know, a lot of public school kids, especially in the Baltimore area, they don't have regular food, regular meals.
Mm-hmm.
So school is like a lot of times the only time that they actually get to eat.
Right.
So, you know, I want to help or facilitate supplementing that and making that more regular.
Do you understand the concept of food deserts?
Yeah. I like to see.
But what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, I think creating spaces where, you know, where we can you know, put those, install those, you know, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think right now my mom lives in what could be termed as a food desert because my mom lives. I mean, I'm so, you know, we grew up together. You know, me and Clint grew up together.
Right.
And she lived in West Baltimore, where we used to have a grocery store.
Right.
And now that grocery store is gone.
Right.
The only thing that's near there now is some corner store that has no fresh vegetable. No, I don't even think the corner store is over there anymore. The only thing there is maybe like a chicken spot.
Right.
Or a gas station where you can get like a soda or something like that.
Right.
And these are the opportunities. This is the only opportunities families in that neighborhood have, unless they have transportation. I mean, they can get on they have a car.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine a week's worth of groceries on the bus, you know, miles and miles away from home?
Right.
So I guess those are the kids. These are the type of places the kids that you're talking about.
Yeah. When I was, you know, the last year, you know, I was frequenting a number of public schools, and we were talking about some of the issues, some of the things they need. And I was talking to the Baltimore City district manager, and she was talking about, you know, the need for the help that the parents need.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so from a perspective of not only just food, but also just kind of help with kind of managing the schedule of the kids and that type of thing, because they're working so much. So I want to I'm really working on behind the scenes. It's going to take a little while because it's got to be structured so that, because I don't like to do things where once you start it, you have to stop it because you don't have resources and that type of thing. So I'm working on some things to, you know, help facilitate and get people involved to help supplement parental help from the standpoint of not just food, but also helping them help their kids be educated or supplement their education. Another thing that's, you know, really, you know, been on my mind a lot, you know, is that, you know, for example, a lot of the inner city kids, for example, the reason why sometimes they might be behind is not because they're less intelligent, but because they have less access to the good education, good books, and that type of thing. So, you know, that's one of the things that I'm kind of more in research mode and kind of going back to the drawing board after I did the shelter thing for a number of years. And so now, locally, I really kind of want to go into where I am, where I live, and kind of just, you know, help, you know, build slowly some supplementary projects to help people in my area.
I think what's great is at least with this project, even the food projects that we're talking about today, we've been focusing a lot on Yemen, East Africa, and even Syria. And even we're saying that the food projects that we're doing here, we actually do these boxes here at home in the U.S. as well. And there's opportunity to people who want to invest and who want to donate these boxes. Again, take this time now. Don't wait. Donate now. The time is fleeting. We were only meant to go up to about 5 o'clock. I think we're going to push it a little bit further. We still got some friends that we need to get on board, waiting to get on board to help galvanize their audience in order to get involved. Now, someone said to me, like, who am I? I mean, I'm just a simple person in my neighborhood, in my town. Why should I care about like these things, you know? Or somebody say, "Who are you? You the big rapper man, TV man. Why? What makes you? Why are you getting involved? Why should people get involved?"
I think we have an obligation. If we have anyone who has a little bit of privilege over another person, that we share that, you know, that we help fill in the voids, you know, where we have privilege in that other. From our own work, you know, and you know, as Muslims, we believe that Allah gives us all good, you know, and therefore, because we know that we return, we give gratefulness, we show our gratefulness by giving to those who don't have what we have, and we're all connected, you know what I'm saying? And the bottom line is that you think that one day, and don't ever think that one day you can't be in that position,
right?
You know, and even though that's one of the motivations, another, you know, even a bigger motivation is just, you know, you should do it because it's the right thing to do. Right. But you know, it can happen in many. You know, this what happened the last time there was a recession. Many people were making 6 figures, 7 figures. Next thing you know, they're homeless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of engineers out here, people with big degrees out here, and they don't have money. So, you know, it can happen to anyone. It can happen to you. So. Also giving back, you know, it comes back, you know, it comes back. So you know, it doesn't matter who you are or how disconnected you might be, you know, that will help you to give. It's actually a great opportunity for you to give when you have more.
Okay. I've been hogging it up, Carl. I don't know if you want to jump
Well,
in there.
I wanted to jump in with a story because you guys are talking about working in Baltimore and trying to fix the food deserts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel personally that there was something that IRUSA did, which of course was funded by our donors.
You guys.
Which you could become if you're not already right now by clicking on the links. But it was a couple of years back, there was a situation in Baltimore. And
the uprising, right?
yes. Yeah. And the CVS, which was like the only corner store, was ruined.
Right.
And I think there was a retirement home or something there.
Yeah, right there, all right there.
And so IRUSA responded, I think it was the next day or within a couple of days, and we loaded up food, and we loaded up toilet paper, paper towels, and just basic household necessities because we knew that these people were in this desert, as it were,
Right.
and we delivered it to them within a couple of days. And those are just some of the projects that, in my opinion, don't get enough coverage, and that you guys help support. So,
one of the things that like you brought to mind, and we're gonna switch gears in a minute. One, we talk about you said it can't. Some people think like it can't happen to me, but we said we always tell people you were maybe just 1 or 2 paychecks away from being on the other side of that food box. You know, even me, I had a house fire once, and Red Cross came up, you know, at my house years ago. Red Cross pulled up in front of my house and handed me a hygiene kit. And I was like, I'd never been on this side of a hygiene kit before. I was like, that was amazing. It had little assistance and I needed it. I needed to help at that time. And even if we talk about, because I know we're going to be talking about Syria in the next moment, this is a community for a long time. I mean, especially in this area, very affluent community that is used to, you know, doctors and dentists and whatever. And then this war has happened, so it's taken them a little bit to get organized in a way, because before this wasn't a cause that we were ever fundraising for Syria before all this happened. So it could happen anywhere. It can happen to any of us. So you're paying it forward. You're paying this forward. So please join us today. Donate today. And it's not, and again, and the other side of it too, it's not about doom and gloom. I don't want to also just be that threats of poverty is the only reason you should give. People need it. People, you will make a difference in someone's life today by doing this simple act. A few dollars that you're going to donate make a difference in someone's life. You got a parting message before we switch
Yeah,
out?
I mean, it just to to piggyback on what you were saying, and
Brother,
it
this
actually
is a Muslim thing. No pigs. No pigs.
My bad.
Donkey back or like I won't say camel back because then that's like a whole nother. Go. Yeah, go back. Okay, let's go. Take two. Let's go.
No, and like what he said at the end, like, it doesn't always have to be doom and gloom. Oftentimes when you're going through depression and stress and that type of thing in your life, one of the ways that even psychologists say that you can help yourself is you go into a place where people have less than you do and you give, and you actually can make yourself feel better. And one of the things that I always tell people is, sometimes when people are begging on the street and that type of thing, and somebody might question me and say like, he's gonna go do this with it, and I say, it's not really for him. It's not really. I mean, sometimes when you give, it's not about him. And the law says in the Quran, sometimes when we give, we ask no thanks for it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's for our. Actually, it's for our Lord, number one. So Allah has made it easy for us to give and given us rewards. Even if you happen to be a person who just doesn't see or doesn't feel like you have to give from a standpoint of having to help other people, even being selfish, even from a selfish standpoint, give for the rewards that you will receive in the next life.
Thank you, man. Thank you for those great messages, for being on with us, and thank you guys for tuning in. Give today. Give for your akhirah. Give for your own personal joy. Give for the benefit of those in need. And let's check out this video that we're going to show right now about our brothers and sisters who are suffering in Syria and how you as donors, supporters, volunteers of Islamic Relief can have an effect on these lives. Clear.
أنا هون داوني بغيروا لعزري الدكتور قال الصباح بدنا نفك السياق صمون بعدين أنا بحبكن بحسن نكل أمي كانوا بعطونا دواء هيك عن أختي بتوزع الزبط حباي إذا كان في سياق وإذا الإصابة وصبعت هون هيك مع يا أصوى أنا اسمي حسن 5 سنين من حلب كانت نفضت لي غلاضي أما هي طفت لي نفضت صوت نزل برميل من دون صوت بعدين صار أخوي ما في جلسي أمدأ عن السيلون كالبواب وأبكي بعدين طلعوا زامين 3 زلام طلعوا عفونا هاي الإصابة بس الناس مسفت ما بمدون هي بس هاي ما ادري فيديو أنا صورة بس صورة
For our inaugural fundraising live broadcast live feed with Islamic Relief and Deen TV coming together, linking up to support those in need, doing food packages across the world, and particularly we're looking at our work in Yemen, East Africa, as well as Syria. I'm here with my good brother from another mother, Mr. Carl Dodge. How's it going, Carl?
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
My brain just stopped. Did y'all just catch that?
It's that Ramadan brain. It's real. Ramadan brain is
If you
real.
rewind the tape and pause it just properly, you can see that moment when my brain sees
It's like you can hear the wheels turning and all. And we want to hear, well, I want to hear turning. I want to hear the churning of credit card sliding and people typing in their PayPal or whatever accounts that they have that they're to donate to us and to get involved today. Why?
Why should they get involved? What is their motivation? What is their end result?
What is
getting
their
involved?
I mean, that feeling that you have right now, if people who are fasting in particular, that feeling that you have right now that we are hours away from breaking fast, and
literally,
yeah, we're literally here, but you have, inshallah, the eventuality of having your iftar. There are many, and you know where you're getting it. You may be going to host the iftar at your house. You're going to a fundraising iftar at a mosque or put on by Islamic Relief. Maybe going to a grand iftar where they're going to have like 3 types of meat. They're going to have a dessert. You can be served, whatever. But there are people, their iftar will be just that water or just something very small, very, very simple, that they won't have those luxuries that we have. Give because of them. Give for their benefit. Or even as Khalil we just had Khalil Ismail on, the world famous rapper, poet, whatever, singer, songwriter,
movie producer, movie director.
Yeah, everything he does, that give for the sake of your own soul. That inshallah, Allah be pleased with you, that it increases your station, that it increases your rank with Him, that when you're raised up, you be reminded because of such acts of charity and stuff like that. But why should you give, Mr.
So,
you asked me, put me on the spot.
No. See, one of the things that I've been sitting here, I've actually been thinking about it for a while, and I've been hesitant to say anything because I know it's not a Ramadan-specific story.
Okay.
But I know it's a story that I've heard multiple times, and I know you've heard it multiple times. But for me, it's a powerful story, and that is Kurbani. Our CEO, Anwar Khan, was overseas, and he was handing out Kurbani meat. And
what's Kurbani meat, by the way, for people who don't know? Because some people don't use that term.
Oh, udhaya.
Udhaya?
Is that better?
Okay, well, what about the people who grow up speaking English like you and me?
So it would be the festival of when Abraham was going to slaughter his son, but Allah gave him a ram or a sheep instead, and so we observe that through the observation of Kurbani or Udhaya.
Exactly. All right, now we.
As I was saying, so I remember
Anwar's giving up Kurbani.
Yeah, and he tells us this story all the time, and for me it just kind of hurts because I'm a meat eater. I love my meat, and for him to hand meat to a little girl and say, "When was the last time you had meat to eat?" And she looked at him and said, "When you were here last year."
Wow.
And for me, and I know this is probably that whole first world problem kind of thing, but not having access to meat daily or every other day, it's not something we think about.
Right.
But it's a thing. And you guys can help with that. I know it's a little early to be talking Kurbani, but the point is that even rice, even, people shouldn't have to figure out, how do I eat tonight? Not what should I eat, because that's something we all struggle with. What should we do for iftar tonight? Because that Ramadan brain gets going, and you're like, oh, I think I'm going to go to Cheesecake. Oh, I think I'm going to go to McDonald's. Oh, I'm going to order kebab.
Right.
But you get the choice of deciding what to eat.
You got options.
Not if you can eat.
Right.
And to take it a step further, just to take it really doom and gloom and dark, if you had just enough food to feed one person, that mom who's a single mother, she has to decide whether she breaks her fast or whether she gives it to her child.
And you know what choice you're going to make. She'll give it to their babies.
As a parent, it's the same way I would do.
Yeah. And so, and why should we have someone have to make that type of choice when we can do something about it?
All you have to do is a couple of clicks, 40, 60, 70. So I think I was doing the math the other day. It was like for $170, you feed 2 families. You know,
Right.
I think I dropped 60 at the gas station filling up my truck yesterday.
Right, right. And that can be what you're doing, but filling up a family that is in need. I mean, again, it goes back to even like what Carl mentioned earlier. We were at the Grand Iftar in Islamic Relief in DC when the CEO, Anwar Khan, mentioned that there was a caller who asked an imam, he said, if I didn't have a suhoor, and I also didn't have iftar, if I didn't know I would have it, would my fast still count? Would their fast still count? It is no reason in this, like Lamal said earlier, this industrialized world where we're growing food all over the place, where we're throwing the food away all over the place, that should be someone's reality. It should not be the case. It's the case because we aren't sharing enough. We aren't doing the things that we're consuming too much of our own, and we're not sharing with those who don't have. Consume a little less today and share. Actually, you consume exactly what you want, but make sure that you also make room for one more. Make room for a family, make room for an orphan, make room for that widow with supporting with our food product today. But we want to keep the energy going, keep everything going. We have one more guest for you today, inshallah, a good friend and long contributor to Deen TV and just the world interwebs and all that kind of good stuff. Can you please bring
And the reason I'm sitting on this
and
side
the reason
now.
you're sitting on this side now. Bring it up for Sister Monica, Hijabi Bengali sisters.
Assalamualaikum,
sisters.
No, do I get it right? Is it Hijabi Bengali
Sisters.
sisters? I said girls earlier. You probably.
Yeah, I was.
All right, sisters, Hijabi Bengali. So how you doing?
Oh my God, it's just, I can't believe it's Ramadan, but it's almost over.
Right, like it just happened, right?
Yeah, it's just like a blink of an eye. It's crazy.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, it's about making the most of that time left. Tell me a little bit. How did you guys get started? Your basically you have your YouTube channel and your Instagram. How did you guys get started in that?
So it basically started off as me and my sister, we were kind of like ignorant when it came to Islam. We were just cultural Muslims, Bengali Muslims, that's it. Just, you know, one day my dad went to Hajj, and for some reason, we were those girls that were like, oh, we'd never wear the hijab. That's never going to happen to us. And like, no offense, because we were ignorant, we were very like the type like, oh, Islamic lectures bore us, like we don't care, we'll sleep in the lectures, like we didn't care.
Okay.
And so then what ended up happening is that one day my dad went to Hajj, and then like, you know, he touched the Kaaba and he made so much dua for us and stuff as his daughters to go to Jannah and stuff. And then for some reason, something just overcame both mine and her heart, and we're just like, what? Why are we waiting? Like, we could die tomorrow, and like, I don't even know why, but we just started to want to wear the hijab.
So wait a minute, you tell me your dad was at the Kaaba, he goes like this,
I'm
and
not
then all of a
the
sudden
Kaaba.
you're about as big as it though. I'm just kidding. No, you're as beautiful as it. No, so and then all of a sudden you felt that all the way.
I guess. I mean,
Number one reason to go to Hajj. Go for it.
Yeah, that changes a lot.
Dreams will come true.
Mhm.
Wow. So from there, you guys.
So from there, we decided finally, all right, you know what? Let's wear the hijab. We decided to do it together, and
Awesome.
as surprising as it may come, a lot of people think that, you know, a lot of females are forced to wear the hijab, but in my case, not only did I make a choice, but all the Muslims around me were against me wearing it. So
Wow.
it was completely opposite. And what made us start YouTube was that me and my sister were like, wow, like, no offense, we're still kind of bored of Islamic lectures. Why aren't there women who talk about Islam? Why is there only men? And so, like, we were like, you know what? And then, like, we were just talking about it. And then one day I came across this one video, this one girl talking about the death of this Muslim girl because her father killed her, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, if you want to show your freedom, then take off your hijab if that's your choice or whatever. So I got mad. I'm like, Nishia, let's go make a video response to this person.
Yeah, that does sound like the Monica I know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So then we went out, like, we made a video, and we're like, oh, you want us to take off our hijab? We're going to put a hijab over our hijab. How about that? Like, we got angry, but then, like, that video slowly, like,
So
we
started a movement.
Yeah, kind of. And then, like, what really started the movement was, what made us go viral, in a sense, was that we made this video of 20-something excuses we made not to wear the hijab. And we were very sarcastic in it, and the title was, I hate the hijab, very clickbait. But we got over 1 million views, and now like a lot of people started wearing hijab and like yeah.
So tell me now okay, so it's one thing that you do this, but I know also you actually are a volunteer photographer for Islamic Relief at times. Actually, I went with you to Houston, I believe.
Texas,
Houston, Texas, and got to. There was a disaster there, and we were working there, and you got to take pictures, meet families, and different things. So you've kind of felt this kind of relief work a little bit too. So what did that do for you, being a part of a relief effort like that?
Honestly, like I feel like as someone who's into social media, like when you look about like disasters through social media, like it's like, okay, that's sad, scroll down. Like that's how it is. But when you're really in that situation, you're like, whoa, like these are real people. Like you see them crying, you see them living in their cars, and most of all, what I loved about Islamic Relief was, yes, as much as we are like promoting like, oh, let's raise money for these Muslim countries, you guys also help like the people at home, and I think that's where it starts. Charity start at home. So yeah, I mean, it really like opened my eyes.
Awesome. And again, we're highlighting some of these food packages. We've been talking about Syria, Yemen, and East Africa, but the food packages that we're doing, you can also sponsor food packages that happen here in the U.S. that we made about 7,500 food packages, and we did with volunteers, and we are taking them to cities like in Chicago and Baltimore and Washington D.C. and California, all across the country, that they're getting these boxes and helping families. Now, what would you say? I mean, because you have a very this young audience of no, you have a really like
you get ready to like throw down. I don't understand what's going on.
I'm into it.
No, I mean, what do you say to young people? I mean, what would you say to young people? Should more young people be getting involved in this type of work, or even care about this type of work?
No, for sure, because I'm coming from a personal point of view, but basically, like, yes, I was born and raised in America, but my family, when we first started off here, we were really, really poor. And as a child, I remember, like, in my school, they would have, like, a donation box, and all the kids would donate, like, me clothes or tissue box, whatever it is. And I donated too. I was like, okay, so what? And then a couple of days later, we're the ones receiving it. And I'm like, oh, cool, I get to have it. Like, I didn't think anything of it, but then, you know, so when I put myself, like, when I'm being a little stingy sometimes, I'm like, wait, like, that was me once before. Like, how can I not give? Like, alhamdulillah, now I've been given the privilege to give, so why not take advantage of that? So I feel like no matter how young or old, like, contribute in some way, if not through money, if you don't have a job, that's, like, you can spread it through social media, or tell people, share this, and tell people to donate, you know. And at the end of the day, it is Ramadan, and you want to take full advantage of it, because you never know. Like, I know it's so unfortunate, but, like, you know, you've heard of the Grenfell Tower in London that basically no one knows. They were literally sleeping, and they thought, like, they're going to wake up for suhoor, eat, have another normal day, but they ended up passing away. And so we can't live our life like there is no tomorrow. I mean, you have to live your life as there's no tomorrow. You can't live like, oh, I'll have tomorrow, you know. So.
No, that's and that tragedy there in London, and that really broke my heart this week. Just how many people were passed, and what they said. One of the things, one of the great, like, I guess, like, heroic stories. They were saying that the one lady I saw on video, she said, "Thank God for Ramadan." Yeah. Because it was those people who were up for suhoor or up for tahajjud, and they were just like knocking on doors. Yeah. The lady said, "All those boys, Muslim boys, knocked the door." Yeah. And they were like little patwa. She was like, "They knocked the door." You told that was amazing. That and subhanAllah, at the same time, there were and there were quite a few Muslims that actually. Passed in that fire, in that fire, and it was actually, we were talking about Syria too. It was even someone from Syria who was a refugee, came over there and found himself in that moment. And like he said, you don't know what is promised you. You don't know which land you'll pass in. You think that you'll always be in your one town, and you end up somewhere else. So I want to say, like.
But on the upside,
just
to make a little bit of an up note
Let's bring it up.
So the other thing, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, was that our sister organization IRW actually responded to that flyer.
Awesome, yeah.
And they showed up like the next morning, clothes, food, blankets, water. They were there to help those who had just lost everything. And it's not just IRW, it's also IRUSA who does that here. And that's what you were talking about, going out to Texas. So you were with our DRT, or disaster response team, right? Which is, see it up. Watch this callback. You ready?
Tie it in. All
I
right,
am.
Here it comes. Get ready.
And who does DRT work with? The Red Cross.
As you work with, they work with me.
No, well, they do. But DRT also works with Red Cross, which you were talking about earlier. So we're all part of that cycle. And network of good. And DRT doesn't just help. And I'm actually going to lean on you just for, I don't know what our time looks like, but I want you to address this because this is something to me that no matter who I'm interviewing or what episode I'm doing, I always put pressure on this fact. And you can probably just answer it in like 3 questions. So you were dispatched with DRT to Texas.
Yes.
There was a natural disaster of some sort.
Yes.
When you were there, when you were working with DRT, did you only help Muslims?
No.
Okay, folks, there you go. We're helping our neighbors.
Yeah.
And when you donate to IRUSA, this is the kind of work that you're helping.
Right,
and supporting.
and we meant to be helping 40 of our neighbors that are surrounding us. One other thing for you, sometimes I'm kind of moved by, like we work at Islamic Relief. I know you're a volunteer.
Yeah, volunteer.
And we work at Islamic Relief, so it said, this is what, I mean, I get paid to do this work. I have to do this.
We're
because
blessed.
if I don't,
we
I'm gonna
are
get
totally
fired.
blessed.
Hashtag blessed. But I always am moved by people who do something completely different. You talked about like what drive you from your personal experience. What would you say? Like do you feel like people can use whatever thing that they're good at to kind of promote something good, or whatever talent that they have to benefit others? Is that a thing, or is it like, am I just making
no, for sure. Like, I mean, for me, like, okay, I have YouTube, social media, so I use that for not just Islamic Relief, but like many other places that, like, you know, they need money for the mosque or something like that. So however way you can contribute, like, pretend you're a singer, you guys can sing about it, you know? If you're a drawer, draw about it, you know, be artistic.
I mean, I'm only the singer part. My kids draw. Yeah, okay, I hear you.
And like, for me, I'm a photographer and I also film, so that's what I was able to do with them, and it was just crazy. It's like, wow, you see it in real life, and it's like, but what I was also able to do was also show that, look, this is proof Islamic Relief is actually helping these people. Right. This isn't just for show, like, they're really doing it, you know? Right. So I feel like definitely whatever you have, somehow, like, definitely, like, help out.
I feel left out of that equation because I'm not really a singer.
Marketing?
I can't draw.
You can market.
Yeah.
She said using your social media. You are the social media guy at Islamic Relief.
See, you're not left out.
We're all in there. So last few days, Ramadan. Last few days of Ramadan are happening. Is there anything that you're doing with your channel or anything, wrapping up the month and to get people ready for? Is there any hijabi, fashionista thing that people getting ready for Eid to get like boom and to get it boom boom?
Oh, I mean, like hijabis in general, we're already buying our Eid clothes. Like, that's about it. But I mean, as far as
there's no lie.
No, it's no lie because I know my wife got a box just the other day. She's like, "Look what we got." I'm like,
that came out of your paycheck.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, as far as like, you know, social media and stuff, like, I've kind of like removed myself from like Instagram and stuff because I feel like it's so important to like reflect on your own soul, because we're so like putting so much emphasis on this fake imagery of like our life, and let's be honest, like, we like to show people we're good, but how are we really on the inside? And I reflected, I was like, okay, you know what, it's great that I'm doing this, but like, I'm glad I can help others, but I need to help myself as well. Awesome. And that can also tie into like donating. Like, if you want to help yourself, you give. You never get poor by giving. And like, being a broke college student myself, like, sometimes, you know, I can be stingy. I'm like, oh, but like, I got loans to pay and stuff. And I remember This one time I was like, I mean, it was like the obligatory zakah, you know, that I have to give. And I was like, okay, $20. Like, I'm like, man, I'm so poor, whatever. And then out of nowhere, like a week later, I got an opportunity and I got $200 back. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah,
like, every time you give, you get even more back. Like, you never lose by giving. And if you want to be selfish for your afterlife, you do it by giving to other people.
Awesome. In these last 10 days of Ramadan, we're just ending. The month of Ramadan is in only a few days. We're less than a week away for our Eid, or just
next
a week.
Saturday.
Next
Sunday.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Sunday,
we will be making our last iftar for Ramadan, and we're saying make all these days count.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time. Get involved today. There's still a chance for you to give and to get involved. Help these families that we're helping around the world. So we have one more video that we want to show you, and we want to thank you, Monica, for spending time. It's all hot in here too because we got.
I don't know why y'all are complaining. I'm the one covering.
I know.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. I feel for you, and you still.
I don't feel it.
Just
I'm not
poised,
used
just
to
like
it.
yeah, you know.
I'm
this is what we
royalty.
do. Yeah, exactly. See, that's the Monica we know and love. Thank you, Monica, for coming.
Can I actually extend an invitation to you to come join us on
For
the
sure,
IR
for
USA podcast too?
I'm down.
I think you'd be a fun interview.
Yeah, sure, I'm down.
Let's do it, and let's get into this video, inshallah. Again, helping those in need.
سمعنا صوت طيارة انه قالوا ضربت الجامع، بعدين اللي ضربة عنا شارع جنب الجامع، راحت الحارة كلياتها تهدمت وماتوا.
طب نحن ايش سوينا؟ شوف الدمار.
اصعب شيء النزوح، عارفين بيوتنا وجايين هنا وقاعدين وهنا ما تعرف شنو مستقبلك اصلا.
وين تروح الواحد ما نعرفان؟
يعني ايش بنسوي ما بنعرف، حتى ما عندي ولا اسكن مكان.
اي شيء، حتى مستمسكاتنا وشهاداتنا وهوياتنا واجازات السوق ومستمسكات البيوت كلها ما جبناها معانا.
في الأردن وبعدين على سوريا، ومن سوريا صارت أحداث سوريا ب 2012 رجعنا على العراق بالشمال العراق، ولينا كم شهر بعدين صار سفرنا ورجعنا.
رقدنا من دون عشاء، من دون دي لا بقالة ولا كهرباء ولا ماء ولا بشي.
الحياة ما ضل عيش، لا ميتك مي، ما في كهرباء.
أرض برية، يعني ما مؤهلة للحياة، بس أسمنا نسوي.
ما ضل شي يشجع لك تبقى.
نحن بدنا ندرس، بدنا نعيش، وين حريتنا؟
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Deen TV Islamic Relief USA live telecast feed to support. It is the live feed to feed people in need.
That rhymes.
I just did that, and you can
get
see
a good deed.
And you can exceed past greed.
with the live feed. What? You got one more?
Saying, for those people who bleed.
I didn't want to use bleed. It didn't
Yeah.
sound good.
Yeah.
So anyway, bringing it back. To my right is
Joshua Sadan.
And to my left is
Abdul Malik Ahmed.
And my name is Naeem Muhammad, but together we are
Native Deen.
Oh man. So alhamdulillah, we were so blessed to have in our house. This is our home, right? This is our home.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
I didn't sound too excited.
No,
about
you know what I'm
this.
saying? This is our home.
Yeah.
It's all right. We had so many guests today in our home here at Deen TV Studios, and we're blessed to have the support of Islamic Relief. Islamic Relief is one of the few organizations in the early stages of Deen TV, believed in us to get involved with us to do this work. So let's give it up for Islamic Relief support. One hand clap.
One hand clap.
One hand clap. All right. Again, we've been spending these last few hours encouraging people to give and to feed these families around the world. We've been a special highlight on work that's been done in Yemen, parts of East Africa like Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, and other places as well. And of course, our brothers and sisters in Syria. And we said too, even these food boxes that are happening here, not that far away from here. One of the places that we donated food boxes to, and I just dropped off 2 more to, was at our local masjid where this guy works at, Brother Joshua Sanam, at the Adams Center, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. So we're wrapping it up for the day. We had a lot of good energy, a lot of good guests on. There was a lot of funds that are being raised, but we need you to continue to raise those funds and continue to help. Joshua, you're just getting on board with us today. Why would you say it's important in these last days of Ramadan that someone should be supporting these families with these food boxes?
And to be honest, man, I was kind of listening to your other guests, and I really think it's all been said. But in the event that somebody forgot,
I mean, people get on every now and then. They get on for 2 minutes and then they get back off. And this is a whole new audience. They don't even know what's happening here.
Hey, welcome. I think it's the concept of, Allah sometimes speaks to, He talks to everybody in the Quran, right? So there's times it's like, yeah, ayyuhan nas. It's like, if you're breathing, I'm talking to you.
Right.
Right? Doesn't matter what you believe, what faith you are. Yeah, ayyuhan nas. All mankind, listen up. And then sometimes it's ya bani Israel, another group talking to you. And then sometimes it's ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. If you are a believer, listen to this. And then you find sometimes in that specific thing, he tells you about this this concept of what you guys are here for, of helping people and what it's actually going to do for you and what it'll have for you in the day of judgment. And the reason why it's talking to believers is because we believe in it. And you don't know when you're going to go. And when, I could leave here and may not make it home.
Right.
So the reason why we want people to give now is because this could be your last opportunity. And that's how Muslims think. That's how believers think. It's just like, next week isn't guaranteed to me. So if I have it, not like these guys say, you're not trying to pay your last electric bill. You still got to feed your family and take care of yourself. Don't be all out. But if you have it, if you have the opportunity, you should do it now.
Yeah, and you can hear we said earlier, that's the chaplaincy coming out. We like that. Keep it up. Yeah, I feel like it a little bit. No?
Nah, cool.
No, and maybe for you, Abdul Malik, oftentimes, you're you're our other resident scholar, and I'm just like the guy who just hangs out with the scholars.
I'm not a scholar.
What are our resident?
You're our resident imam.
You're our resident imam.
Imam is not a scholar. Imam is just the guy in front.
Imams. You just made the fundraising go low.
All those imams.
Thank you. All those imams was like, I'm giving... Deen TV. No, this will be close next week about Deen TV. Tell the other kids to cut it.
If you're a real imam, you'd agree with me.
Oh, man,
you double down with it. Nice. I
thought he was going to back off.
Oh, cool.
All right,
so is our resident scholar. One thing.
Scholar.
Our resident brother who knows a lot.
Thank you.
Is that good?
Okay, who knows?
It's like, who knows some? We got a brother who got credentials.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Master Josh.
Master Josh? Hey, Master Josh. How you doing, Master Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have our brother who knows
just
a
another
little bit.
around the
And then
way.
we have comic relief. Or Islamic relief. Working together. No, Abdul Malik, they always talk about in the Quran connecting, oftentimes it talks about forgiveness and different things, and it connects it with what?
With giving.
Giving.
Yes.
That could have went bad if he wasn't the brother who know a lot. I could be like, they connected with, alhamdulillah, giving. So this is what so that's what we hear about, right, too? So hopefully that purity that people, they said what they say the Ramadan is divided into 3 parts, right? What are the parts?
Mercy, forgiveness, and itqun minan nar.
Escape from the fire.
Yes.
So these ways of escape, of looking for that mercy could be
giving.
You guys are excellent.
Ramadan brain. You're gonna cut this part of the video up and turn it into the Ramadan brain exhibit 1, Abdul Malik Ahmed. But yeah, so that giving is a part of that, right?
Yes, definitely. And if you look throughout the Quran, whenever somebody does, if there's like, if it says if you commit a sin, you can do a couple things. You can fast, or you can give charity. You can give. You can give because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does say that, you know, I'm trying to remember the Arabic, but I can't remember it right now because of the
Ramadan brain.
Okay.
It's a real
But He says that if you do something, you erase it with good deeds. You know, if you do something bad, and we all sin. We all do some negatives here and there, and what we got to do is we got to erase it and so one of the ways to do it is to donate.
And one thing I also talk about is purifying your wealth. You know,
Yes.
we've been given wealth by different means. We work. So I mean, even a little bit of wealth. So, he said we have some money. I don't have enough money to actually call it wealth. I just call it. I got a little cash. So we've all have. Alhamdulillah. I mean, us here we have a little bit, and we want it to be a blessed effort. We want our money to be working for us in this life and the next. And one way to do that is by purifying your wealth through donating, helping those in need, finding someone. You can find someone on the street and do this, but I'm going to tell you, investing with Islamic Relief, it goes a bit further because we're going to go to places that you can't touch. There are going to be places and countries and people who are waiting for this aid that we can get to because we have the staff on the ground, the expertise, the people who know that can get in there and get it done. Joshua.
How'd you know I wanted to say something?
This is what I do, man.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the wealth. Just the wealth that y'all were talking about. Yeah. Because wealth could be defined a couple ways.
Okay.
And in some of the readings, you'll find that a wealthy person is one that is content with what they have, right? So you could be wealthy in another term, like, oh, I got so much money and I only have to work for it. It's residual income. It's coming in every month. I just sit there in my house, so I'm wealthy. But your heart says, it's not enough. I want more. And so you're not really happy, you know? And so you keep going through this life that no matter how much money you make, your stomach isn't full. And so one could argue that a wealthy person is when they're going out and they're working, they're trying to provide and they're gaining, but they're striving to get more, but at the same time they're content with what they have. And that could be a wealthy person as well. So we pray that the people out there are the true definition of wealthy, that you're content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, whether it's a lot in the eyes of people or a lot in your own eyes, because if you've been given wisdom, you can't buy that. If you've been given good health, you can't buy that, even with the best doctors. You've been given a beautiful, kind, loving family. You can't buy that, no matter what it is. So there's certain things that money can't buy, and you may have those things.
Right, and at the same time, I feel that you can invest those things in efforts like this, like we talked about earlier, investing your time. You can volunteer with Islamic Relief and help us to build these Ramadan food boxes the next time we do this. We'll have other activities where you'll be able to serve these families in the same way. One other way, again, about that wealth, showing you're content with the honor that Allah has bestowed on you, the things that He's given you, is by trusting in Him to continue to support you and give what you can give, even if it's a little. Even if you think it's dangerous, like, oh man, do I have enough to do? Do a little bit. As the sister said earlier, charity doesn't decrease your wealth. Inshallah will increase it. And then again, as we also told in the Quran, that being in this business with Allah, being in this transaction with Allah, there's no loss. You could invest in something and thinking that, man, I'm going to invest in this stock and watch it's going to mushroom it and we all going to be paid. Or in some business, we all going to be paid, and that goes south. But when you invest with a good intention with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will be waiting for you on that day of judgment, inshallah. And it will come back to you in ways that you know not. Joshua.
How'd you know what to say something? No, I'm just kidding. Abdullah, how you doing over there, bro?
I'm
so
good.
far away.
I'm good.
One of the very wealthy people in our community, his family and a brother who are extremely wealthy, and they do a lot for a lot of people. He was given a class, a talk about investing, and what he said was, when you put money in a stock or something like that, forget about it. Don't be looking at it, checking on it next week. How much money did it go up? Oh, I only made 13 cents. He said you have to give it and then forget about it. Let it do its work. Let it do work. Maybe 20 years later, it'll be something that you want. 50 years later, it'll be something. But if you keep checking on it every minute, you're going to be like, I'm going to take my money elsewhere. And so that's the concept that we want people just give the money, even if it's $10, $5. You might not think it's a lot, let Allah do the work. Let Allah multiply it so that on the day of judgment, you forgot, like you said earlier, I think in the show, you said, what's all this huge pile from? I don't remember giving, that $20 that I gave back in 2017?
Yeah, exactly.
That's from that? Just give and then forget about it.
Yeah, and it's like also to the parable, giving away the left hand doesn't even, you just giving, you just putting it out there and letting it do what it does, and inshallah that reward comes.
Because the left hand knew it.
Exactly, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with our money? No, but alhamdulillah, that's why you have a live feed from us in Islamic Relief to give you that nice push. Like that, right?
Yeah.
No, a nice push. Just a nice push to give. Again, we want to thank you everyone for tuning in for this time. We want to again give it up for. Earlier we started out with Syed Dora. Earlier we started with Syed Dora. Yeah, later on we had Brother Raif with us. We had Yaz the Spaz with us. We had Monica from Hijabi Bengali Sisters with us as well. Also, we had Khalil Ismail with us. So all these great people that came in with us. Also, we have Brother Carl from the What a Relief podcast supporting us as well. In the background, you can't see them. We have Brother Dawo Moman with our national fundraising team, and the guy who's looking after Ramadan for Islamic Relief, make dua for him and his family, and all the people who
Khatib even in the house.
We had, oh man.
Al-Khattab.
Al-Khattab. What did I say?
Khatib.
Oh, because you're thinking Khatib meeting, because we had that this morning.
Yeah.
And don't forget the 2-1 thing, like Naeem always says it's always a 2-1 thing.
Yeah.
So 2 of y'all got jackets,
Yeah.
2 of y'all got jeans, 2 of us got kufis,
Yeah.
2 of us got Deen TV shirts.
Yeah.
That wasn't on
I told
purpose
you
either.
that on look, 2 of you guys got
Dress
black
shoes,
shoes and I'm wearing tennis. You see? What? I just kicked the people? Sorry. I just did it again. Yeah, that's what I do. And again, thank you guys, everybody. Also, in the background, we have Brother Ashraf. He's in the back working the switching and all the kind of stuff like that. We have Sister Hassan in the back as well. And so many more who have been supportive of this great work. We thank you all who donated and all who had the niyyah, but maybe they didn't have the funds and they couldn't get involved this time. Please, we want you all to just make dua that what we do gets multiplied and grows and grows and grows. Thank you again for our inaugural our live feed fundraising. I want to do this again, inshallah, come Eid al-Adha.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it again. Eid al-Adha, let's sponsor
Make it so
Qurbani next time.
It'll be smooth.
This time they're going to have the rice. They're going to be done with that rice by then. There's going to be time for Eid al-Adha. Let's get them people some lamb. Let's get them people some meat. And let's join together as Islamic Relief, where we're working together
for a better world.
Let's do this.
With Deen TV, always on, always live. Assalamu alaikum, and keep the faith.